Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcos. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still till it's all with the show, and till then it's half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side Florida. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as could be. So YouTube with views for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Oh, who knows today, Tommy? Who knows, baby?
Hey, Marcos.
We don't know. Yes,
Can I-
sir.
Hey, dog.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
All right.
Can I use your code today?
50% off. Man, what a game last night, huh? That was a terrible first half, but a bit of a thriller.
Well, here's the kicker. That football brought me no excitement because that was two stinkers. I would say this. The first round of the playoffs, for the most part, have been stinkers, right? You had some impressive impressive performances.
Yeah.
But not compelling games, except the Rams and Detroit.
Better than I thought.
Oh,
better than
dang.
I thought. But
way
still,
better. Yeah.
Still 7 minutes late. I mean,
Wow.
Is there a train?
we were taking action, Leroy, because it was bad traffic today.
It was
Bad
bad.
traffic.
Oh, so you knew.
But we all, I mean, Frog Boy and I made it here, JFig. So we were just taking action on JFig on one she was going to be in, and I was betting first segment she was going to miss, just based on how bad the traffic was today.
Yeah.
But she makes it in at 10:06.
Solid.
But I mean, it really doesn't count till she logs in. So if she doesn't get in the next 25 seconds, it's 10:07. It's not when you're at the door; it's when you're on the show.
I got you.
Did she bring a spoon? What was
I don't
that?
know.
So-
What do you mean, some parfait?
Oh.
So other than that,
But I'm with you. Yes, it was not a very good weekend of football.
now the best weekend here. I know everybody is upset if your team's not in it anymore or what have you. But the most exciting playoff week is usually the divisional playoffs.
Yep.
The divisional playoff round.
Yep.
Because that's when it gets a little tighter. That's when you have you don't have anybody backing in. Everybody's playing good football. And then you have added. Now, the added pressure on this is only one team got a bye.
Yes.
And so you only got one team that got a bye. They've been sitting for a couple of weeks. And we forget about them when you see these, Jordan Loves and CJ Stroud. You forget about the big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here they come.
Yeah, but if the big dog loses to the young gun, then all of a sudden Lamar Jackson's, facing that heat again.
Wait, again, I made this point yesterday. You say you'd rather have Lamar Jackson. You'd say you rather, all of the last 2 years, you'd rather have Justin Herbert. Okay? But the facts remain. These are the facts. You can say what you want about any type. To this point, Lamar Jackson only has one more playoff win than Tua.
Well, he's actually got one less than Baker Mayfield.
Right. Exactly. Think about that. So while we sitting here criticizing, and you have every right to, criticizing your quarterback and what you would rather have hasn't won either.
I got to tell you, man, it's so interesting. And these are our headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks in honor of JFig, ACDC. We going to go black truck on your ass. Back that truck up. Go ahead, JFig. Back it up. Boom, 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 boom. Boom.
Like Tua's like it's like the hot sports political topic, dude. Like I swear to God,
right. It's like
I walk Leroy, no doubt. So like today's a day where people are in the building off a long weekend,
Mhm.
and I walked through that elevator. I got hit with like 3 Tua takes, every angle. I got a guy who loves Tua. I got people who hate Tua, rats off a ship on Tua. I got people who are like, it's like it's all over the place. Everybody's got a take on it though. No matter how big a sports fan, how casual sports fan, everybody's gonna be talking about this. I'm like, this is gonna be my next 7 months. This is my existence.
Of course. And listen, we're gonna go back to our original comments and the comments that were made before the game by one Vlad, and that them streets need a body, and usually that body is the quarterback. It's unfortunate because, again, think of the guys you say you'd rather have. Besides Patrick Mahomes, ain't nobody else done a whole bunch of winning either. Right? So we're sitting here having this argument about who you would rather have. And sure, the other guys may look better. You may think they're better, right? But they ain't won the championship either, other than Patrick Mahomes.
I think the thing that's going to be interesting is, where Stephen Ross decides to go with this whole thing, because he has invested a lot of money in this roster, and it did not get its first playoff win.
Got banged up.
Yeah, I get it. They got banged up, but like the check's still clear if you're the owner,
Oh,
I mean, like you saw Jeffrey Lurie last night, because part of it does feel like if this was I guess a more bloodthirsty market like Philly, I got a guy who goes to the Super Bowl in Philly. They can call that guy a bum as a coach, and they're gonna maybe fire him because of what happened.
Right.
And I don't think that's gonna happen with McDaniel. I'm not even saying it should, but this is one of those things where I wonder where, I just wonder, the fan base is probably wondering right now, okay, you improved on a couple wins this year, you had a lot of circumstances, like, well, when is the line of this is the year you got to prove it? And I think the answer that I keep coming back to that's tough for everybody is, I think it's this upcoming year is like, that's the cutoff year. That's it. Like if it doesn't work out for Mike, and it doesn't, and by that I mean, like, you got to start winning postseason games. If you don't, then I'm all for changes. I'm all for, hey, we tried this, it didn't work.
Okay, but and here's where I am with that. It's okay to want change. It's okay to think that change is going to be better. But organizations that usually make these changes like this without seeing it through for some time are the organizations that spin their tires in mud. Right? And
not always. Not always.
But a lot. I'm here. I've watched what Mike Tomlin has done, and I've watched him get booed by his fan base for a number of years, but still manages to get a team that has no business there, getting them there, right? And they still they want change.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that the owners and the GM and the people that run that organization have a bigger picture in mind and see the facts of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the ownership or the GM to get caught up in that this has to be better mode, because we've seen organizations that make these changes over and over and over again, and it really rarely works out.
Yeah, but the thing that's weird about this one, the thing that's so unique about this Dolphins era right now is because the quarterback's era spans 2 coaches, but the coach is here kind of as a fallback plan. Like, the whole plan wasn't to have this weirdo coach be the coach. Like, they wanted Tom Brady and Sean Payton And so
Correct.
I wonder if that buys less patience from Stephen Ross, you know?
No, because you got to evaluate it for what it is. You got
Okay,
you got to be
evaluate it for
honest
what
with
but it wasn't your original plan. Like,
that.
and that does
That's
that does
okay.
it does change things. It absolutely does.
But that's okay that it wasn't your original plan. Okay. But now that you made that plan and you've made these decisions, now you got to evaluate it as is and not worry about what you could have had or what you should have or whatever.
But that's where you see, like, you understand how muddy that gets, though, because it's
Yeah.
like, well, then when is the point where I can fairly evaluate when we gave this a good go with
Right.
the QB and the coach and the whole thing, and when do I realize if it's working or not?
To be honest, that's a question that even we can't answer because
Well, it was asked yesterday to Chris Grier, and I don't even understand what his answer was. Like, it was just gobbledygook, and I found myself frustrated by it because, like, he's the guy picking all the players. I understand he's been here with many coaches and multiple coaches, and it was a fair question to him to say, like, well, you started trading Laramie Tunsil for all these picks and Minka Fitzpatrick for all these picks. Like, when do we get to say? Because that's been 5 years now. Like, when do we get to say your rebuild has either worked or it hasn't worked?
I would say next year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the answer is next year with, like, okay, you like Tua and McDaniel.
But again, here's the other thing. I say this as a player, right? Not as a fan, right? Are we going to evaluate them on wins and losses? Or are we going to evaluate them on whether the team looks like they're improving?
I think it has to be. Well, I think it's. I don't know. Like, I guess it's.
That's where I am. I don't know what the answer is. Only the GM and the owner can give an honest opinion about that. And I think that here's where we start. Stephen Ross will use as many resources as he possibly can to make this the best organization that he can. He's shown that, right? With all he's done.
He's shown that, but he's also shown he is very, very squirrely when it comes to when he hires, when he fires, who he fires, does he fire everybody? He's never really done like the full cleaning of house. He always usually takes half measures.
But we're happy with. Are you not happy with the decisions that Grier has made?
I think they've been okay. I don't think, like, it was interesting. Like, he has had some hits, but he's had some pretty bad misses too.
And that's football. They're not all hits.
That's fine, but like we're talking just about his resume, where he's been at. And he did kind of divert off this F them picks plan where he was going to go in, and it's fine to go F them picks, but if you go F them picks and you still don't win playoff games, where are you at? You're going to end up having a high bill and having to make some tough decisions.
Okay.
So I think that's, that it's an interesting place that he's at. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear a little bit from Chris Grier coming on up. Also, the Heat, very interesting win last night against the Brooklyn Nets. Back after this.
Leroy.
WQAM.
players. No diggity, no doubt. Play on, play it.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Play on, play it.
It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the program today. We ended early yesterday because the Panthers lost in overtime to the Ducks 5-4. So a couple losses here in a row for the Cats. They had Stolars in the pipes yesterday. So come back for Anaheim. They stink. So a bit of a rough one for the Cats. They need to get right here on this homestand, which has not been off to a great weekend. But hopefully they'll bounce back. They're back in action tomorrow against Detroit and get things going there. You Heat last night. Oh, what a game. I mean, and by what a game, I mean what a second half, because that first half was awful. I mean, it was truly some of the ugliest basketball you've seen in a while. I don't know when the last time you've seen a regulation NBA game and neither team cracked 90. That's how rough it was with the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets yesterday, which just felt like all just turnovers and chucking up shots and nothing going in. The first half for Miami, 0 of 12 from downtown. And the Heat, mind you, they were coming off a back-to-back. They had to fly up to Brooklyn after beating the Hornets at home on Sunday night. So you have to fly up to New York that next day. They got into like 4 a.m, Tyler Herro said, and they looked every bit of it when they walked through that first half because it was brutal. But on the good end of things, Jimmy Buckets is back, and he made his impact known immediately in that first half, in that second half, as did Tyler Herro, who really, I mean, it swung immediately in that third quarter where the Heat, they reversed third quarter. They go out there. Tyler Herro hits a couple threes, bang, bang. So they start getting on the board. And then Jimmy Butler, something happened in that third quarter that he took great offense to. And these officials, I don't know what they're doing. I feel like the officiating in basketball is worse than ever. They're just making up rules willy-nilly. But these officials, they're so sensitive. And Jimmy, he gets called for flopping. Now, I did not see this. Jimmy Butler does not flop. He does not subscribe to the trickery, as Eric Spoelstra likes to call it. And Crotty and E-Reader there, they're calling the game. And they're just like, Jimmy Butler just got called for flopping. And I was like, what? So he got a flopping technical foul. And Jimmy Butler, who does not flop, took this very personally. He's like, excuse me? Like, Jimmy Butler, he does not flop, and he does not complain to the officials. He's a very physical player. He'll trash talk. Yesterday, I love when he hits a too small. Always a classic insult. But when they called this flopping on him, he was like, no. You never know what's going to set him off. And in this case, it was the
you basically went up to Jimmy Butler and said, you soft.
Which is and like I still don't know what happened. I'm looking at it. I'm like, they called a flop on that? Like, what happened? It didn't even look like he moved. I was very confused by it. But either way, Jimmy Butler said, no. And he took that game under control with just getting to the line like a monster. And then Tyler Herro, the one-legged runners. What I mean, it was a thing of beauty.
First of all, load him up -1.
Why?
-1.
You know why.
No, I don't.
And then wait.
For
-1 for persistence.
What do you mean?
Because
-1.
Because when we put the kibosh on it the first time, you trying to explain it and deliver it in a different way is no.
This is ridiculous.
No.
First of all, he's out there and he's playing. He's got this breathtaking shot, the baby float, which is it's been coined by me, but it's called on like wildfire, and but like baby float, he's not a baby anymore. He's grown up. Our babies is all grown up.
The baby float would entail the little short
Right,
shot.
but it's like it's a playoff baby goat when he was baby goat. So he had the baby goat hit the baby float. That was where the signature move came from. And so yesterday it's like, well, this guy's he's not a baby anymore. Baby goat's all grown up, and he's hitting this graceful shot off the one leg. It's like a flamingo out there, dude. And so I feel like it needs a signature name, and I think it should be called the Floatmingo.
-1 for trying to
I don't
force it on the people.
understand. This is dude.
-1.
A Floatmingo
Hey!
is a great
Hey!
shot.
Hey, the punishments and the penalty is going to have to get more severe.
Do you
You're a
understand?
repeat offender.
Do you
You're a
understand?
repeat offender.
Flamingo, floatmingo.
The fact that you have to explain it.
Well, I don't think
Right.
you guys, because sometimes I think
We
you guys
got
are.
it the first
No, I don't
time.
think you guys are getting it though, because you understand he's like, because flamingos are off one eg, JFig. Do you understand how they balance themselves?
Yes.
That's how a flamingo rests. They can
Thank
do
you
anything with the
for
comfort of
explaining
one leg.
that.
As is Tyler Herro. He's almost more comfortable off the one-legged shot than any shot that he takes.
No
So-
cap. No cap.
Exactly. So it's almost like he is a flamingo.
No,
Why?
it's terrible.
Marcos kind of likes it.
Look, hold on.
Good
Marcos
guy.
is looking at you in
Hold
disgust.
on. Look, Marcos is looking at you in disgust. That
No,
is
he's
right.
not.
He's shaking. Yes, he is.
He was. He was.
He's
fucking
under
on.
his breath. He's going, idiot.
In my breath, I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
No,
Exactly.
you're
dude.
not. No, you're not. Stop.
No cap. No cap.
Dude, the Floatmingo, it's a great, and imagine all the merch you could have off of it, like you put a little a flamingo with a Tyler Herro jersey on it.
So let's get
Nobody
this.
has the flamingo
Hold on,
as a nickname either.
Hold on. Do we need the streets to tell us whether this is good or not? Because I'm gonna say no, because me and Tobin, that's what we do.
Yeah.
And I have to shoot you down because you get carried away.
Mm-hmm.
So if I give you a +1 there, then by the end of the game, every shot is going to be named, and we don't need that.
Well, the fact that you're even considering it for a vote is telling me that you kind of like it now.
Oh, flamingo.
I'm fine with him being called the flamingo, but the shot is the Floatmingo.
Nah, I like flamingo.
But that's not a shot. You understand? Like that doesn't make sense. Like it's a
I still like
floater.
it.
Wait a minute.
You don't know names.
Neither what you're saying makes sense.
What are you talking about? It's
Oh
a
my
floater
goodness. I
off
can't
one
believe
leg.
that you had.
Okay,
you
let me
had-
explain it again one more time. So flamingos, they balance themselves on one leg with great grace, okay? As does Tyler Herro when he goes for this floater. So you mix the names together of the type of bird and type of shot it is. Ergo,
You don't have
flamingo.
to explain birds to me, okay? Do not mansplain birds to me, okay, Tobin?
Well, I think I do because sometimes you see them as a target.
Flamingo float. Nah, too long.
Too long. It
Sure
doesn't
is.
roll
It
off the
goes
tongue.
minus
No,
one.
it doesn't. Yeah, it's a minus.
Because you're ending it with
-1.
another word. No,
Yeah.
Too much.
Too much.
too much.
I mean, the goat of one-legged shenanigans, flamingo.
Bingo.
Flamingo.
It's pretty good.
How about
Even if you
float
say-
goat?
Who?
Float goat.
Flow goat.
Float goat.
Float goat?
Float goat.
Float goat.
I don't like it.
Still
Baby
Park.
goat.
Say it.
He went from baby goat to float goat.
No. The flamingo.
No.
That's too long.
Tobin.
How is it too long? Can you
Ooh.
say flamingo?
Nope.
Tobin. Tobin.
Hold on.
No.
Say
No,
flamingo.
no. We're not in kindergarten. We don't have to enunciate your words.
Just say it.
No, JFig,
Flamingo.
you don't have to say it.
I'm not going to say it.
We can start selling floats.
Hmm?
Ooh, like ice cream floats. Maybe mango ones because float mango. Mango float. Game ops. Get them on the line. Get 'em on the line.
See why? Listen, see why?
Mango floats.
You're ruining it.
Sorry.
But say flamingo, JFig.
No.
Why?
Just say it.
No.
Why?
Just say the word.
You're telling me to
ACDC
do it,
fans
and
are
I'm
not
not
saying
gonna do
flamingo.
It just rolls off the tongue. See, you just said it. Flamingo. Now, flamingo.
Float mingo.
Stop.
See?
Stop.
Float mingo.
So much more fun than flamingo.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, that guy doesn't know how to say words.
Which animal is
He
he?
said flow goat.
Float goat?
Yeah.
I did not say that.
That kind of sounds like, dirty. I gotta be honest with you.
I don't
I don't like that.
It's not even.
He's the goat of the float, baby.
No.
Mhm.
I mean, he might be the goat of the float, but he's the goat of the floater.
Or
I changed my mind. Lazy river. We'll put a lazy river around there. You can float around it.
You talking about like
Get
around the
out.
court?
Yes.
Get out.
Wait, do you see what he called a flotisserie chicken?
Woo! Woo!
Wow. Okay, good.
I don't really understand. Like Ricardo's saying, you're calling Tyler Herro flamingo. What's wrong with that? Flamingo's a gorgeous animal.
Also representative of the lottery.
Aren't they also the state bird?
Are they making it the state bird?
Yeah.
What is our state bird?
Apparently, there was another animal before. I don't know. Another type of bird before.
Have you ever gone and said?
Ibis. Was it an
I thought
ibis?
it was always a flamingo.
You ever gone to the zoo and just like looked at a bunch of flamingos and just think to yourself, like, how gorgeous this animal is?
Dude.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
And I
Not
walked
really.
away 2 seconds later because
The
how
northern
you- that's the-
mockingbird. What? That's our bird right now? The
No,
northern...
the float bingo should definitely be our state bird.
Yes.
But it should be a Tyler Herro silhouette shooting the floater.
I like it.
The point is, he was onions yesterday.
Yeah.
Giant elephant cajones, as John Calipari says, and he came through clutch because that overtime was going real rough till Tyler Herro hit those big onions threes.
Pretty good. Clutch.
You got a Spo after the game yesterday.
Yes.
Spo says that he wants to win a game in the mud, which the Heat have kept their last 3 opponents to under 100, which in today's NBA, I mean, you might as well have kept them to 60.
Yeah.
Here is Spo on the game.
Cement. You see that first half? I mean, that was about as ugly as it can get. So when I said I wasn't going to breathe it into existence, I think I did. And I think this is good for us. This is what I wanted. Could win some games with different solutions when it wasn't a free-flowing game offensively, or weren't necessarily making shots, where it potentially could be a little bit ugly, and then you just figure out how to rally around the competition and figure out how to get a win at the end. And so now that's 3 games where we've held our opponents under 100. 2 out of the 3 have been in the mud, and that's progress for our team. And there's been a lot of moving parts, and I appreciate the group for not making any excuses about it. You can develop a talent to learn how to win, regardless of whether you have rhythm, regardless of whether you're changing lineups, rotations, whatever. You can create an identity and figure out how to win, and then when things fall into place, you're in a better place when that time happens.
Listen, you're in a bad spot when the Miami Heat's taking you to the spa, dude.
Oh boy.
Taking you to the
So
spot.
here it comes.
Trying to figure it out.
Let me strap in. Let me strap
Mud bath.
Mud bath.
Mud bath, dude.
Okay, dude.
in.
Got it out the mud.
Got out the mud, dude. That's the kids.
Marcos,
Yeah.
kids.
-1.
Why?
That's fair.
-1.
For aiding and abetting.
Yep.
I don't like this. Marcos, you don't have to succumb to their bullying.
Anytime somebody says -1, if it's valid, he gives it.
It's not valid. I don't think it is valid.
Mm.
You ever have a mud bath?
Nah. Too poor.
You just roll around in the mud, right?
Yeah, you just
You ever go
you
mudding?
get a mud bath for free.
No, I never gone mudding, but I
You
know
ever go
that's
mudding?
I think that's fun though. I feel like it
I
looks
think
fun.
it does look fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like maybe JFig.
JFig has.
the intangibles love mudding.
Kinda.
Yeah, see?
Mudding.
Mud.
Back in my college days.
So, like, a lot of people would say the flamingo is the swaggiest of animals, and a lot of people would say
What?
that that
Really?
Tyler
No.
Herro.
I'm going with peacock.
Yeah, I was gonna say peacock.
Nah,
Pretty good.
see,
Peacock and swag there.
I
Look,
don't think
hey,
so, dude. I
look
don't
at
think so.
me. Look at me.
'Cause, you know, like,
They walk around with the turnover chain.
no, but they have to plume it. They have to plume it. Like
That's
a
right.
flamingo is
Plume it out.
that at all points.
Really? No.
Mm.
First of all, use 2 legs. Talk to me when you use 2 legs.
Flamingo.
But that's the point. But he doesn't use 2 legs.
Do flamingos even fly?
Yeah, of course.
Ooh.
They flying past. You don't remember the old Hialeah racetrack footage?
Oh, that's right. I think I've seen it on City Furniture too. I feel like I.
Like sometimes it's hard to figure out when we make comments if Marcos is on your side or not. Right?
Hard for me too.
Got it right there, Tyler Herro.
Oh no.
Spread your love and fly. Spread your love and fly. All around the world, statues crumble.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. So this Josh Allen's just allowed to do whatever he wants on that field, huh? Like he could just cheat and cheat.
Can I just tell you, that was garbage.
That was garbage, right?
Because he fake slid, and they all stopped, and then he kept going, and they go, that was a headsy move. Then the next time they hit him, not with the helmet, but they hit him, and they threw a flag.
Dude,
so
that
how in the hell?
That drive after, like, if you want to know how the NFL is like fixed, that drive after Pittsburgh gets to within a score and Josh Allen literally like throws the ball a la Tua nearly out of the stand into the stands, and they called pass interference or holding or whatever bull bleep they put on Miles Jack. I was like, that's stupid. He had no shot at that play. What can he fly? Is he Superman? Who cares? And so he gets that call. And then what does he do the next time? Slides. Miles Jack barely touches him. And he's sitting there like, what are you doing? He does that stupid Josh Allen face, extra 15 yards because baby's got to get his extra yard. It's so annoying. And not to mention you have old Romo on the call. Oh my God. Even Jim Nantz is telling me, dude, you need to calm down, Tony. Oh, Jim. Did you hear that on the call, Marcos?
I heard it, and there's a new term the kids are using. There's a new term where when you are just so high on something like Taylor Swift fans or iPhone fans, say that you're glazing.
Bro, are you about to rip it? Like, what's going on with your throat right now?
Right. Glazing, dude. That's what Tony Romo was doing.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Glazing,
the kids do say that dude is listen, he's you might as well call him Jay Glazer. Like he is out there. He is. It's ridiculous. Oh, Jim.
It's bad, dude. It's really bad.
Tony, calm down. We have a game to. Oh, Jim. Does he get the? Hold on. Is he doing the game again this week too? Is he get him a versus? Because him versus Mahomes, the only guy that even comes close to rivaling is Mahomes. He loves Mahomes too.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he loves Mahomes as much as he loves Tony. Oh, of course, CBS.
Okay.
You're home for the for Tony Romo loving on Josh Allen. Does the B in CBS stand for Buffalo? Is that what we're doing now?
By the way, that field looks so clean.
Oh, it was fine.
Oh, so great.
It was fine.
How they moved it.
Yeah, it would have been entertaining at all to see them play in a blizzard. Stupid idiots.
Everybody would have had a chance that way because you wouldn't been able to predict nothing.
But like, you with me that those two calls were garbage? Like, it was just a little
too.
It
like you want to protect the quarterback, but if the quarterback's not protecting himself, all bets are off. And they should have went to Tony Romo. I mean, they should have went to Josh Allen and said, "Hey, buddy, you fake slid. It's going to be harder for us to call that late hit when they don't know what the hell you're going to do."
Well, like, yeah, but you're never going to, like, this guy, if anything happens to his poor little Josh Allen, like, he's never, Tony Romo is going to just go out there and blast the referees. You know, it's a complete manipulation that they have going on right now. Josh Allen and Tony Romo, those two. And then did you guys like how like him and Stephon Diggs are friends now?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's convenient.
How sweet.
How convenient.
You know what that comes from? Winning.
Just Stephon's like my brother. I'm like, yeah, your brother hates your ass.
You know what?
Seems to yell at you a lot,
we
Josh.
got two crybabies next week. Kansas City versus Buffalo. Let's see who's going to cry first. Is it going to be Stephon Diggs or is it going to be Patrick Mahomes? Oh, my receivers aren't catching the ref.
Oh, my helmet doesn't stay together.
So you got to do that in ribbit form.
My helmet.
There you go.
Ridiculous. Ooh. Yeah, like there really should be like, what do they have to do? Like, should a quarterback just take a knee? Like, they got to take a knee. The slide is garbage. He can fake that all day.
Yeah, I know there was controversy when Kenny Pickett did it But that's college football. You know, you make a mistake in college. Josh Allen, you knew what you were doing, dude.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
You knew what you were doing.
Ooh, Josh Allen, what a great run. It's like, yeah, when you're, not allowed to be touched, might as well just put flags on him. Ridiculous, dude. And of course, you got to hear old Tony. Oh, Jim. Schmieden says, we get a Josh Allen tears or Taylor Swift tears. Win-win either way. I like the way you
She
think.
ain't gonna cry.
Who do I want to lose more?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, you're right.
Josh Allen's the way I go on that one, for sure. Buffalo getting eliminated. Because, like the Steelers, it is Mason Rudolph. I mean, like, you can only do so much. You can only do, and plus, it's the Bills, so they're gonna cater to him whatever they want. Like, oh, we'll move the game, whatever you guys say. Whatever you guys say. It's got to be perfect for our poor little Josh Allen. Josh Allen's like the kid who gets the extra time at taking tests. Like, just let's accommodate him. Annoying. And Tony Romo makes it more annoying. I can't believe I got to hear him again this week on a Josh Allen game.
Is that going to continue all the way? Let's say Josh Allen advances. Is that also going to be?
I don't really know who to root for in these playoffs.
This is rough, dude.
I don't really know who to root for.
Baltimore, potentially.
I guess I got to root for Lamar, like hometown, right? But then I don't get to use the Lamar Jackson excuse as a Tua out route anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I can't have CJ Stroud win because the Texans are going to win a Super Bowl before the Dolphins.
What?
That's going to be bad.
I mean, they've already won a playoff.
I guess I'm going to root for Man Campbell. I think I'm rooting for Man Campbell.
That's a good one.
Because I just want to see him. I think that's the team I'm rooting for the rest of the way. 49ers. I don't like Shanahan in his stupid hat.
Oh, stupid.
Very smug. Very smug. And Brock Purdy. Oh, could you imagine the talks we have to say? Because now every quarterback in the 7th round we have to take. I'm basically just doing this for Tua arguments the rest of the way. That's how I'm picking games.
That's right.
Can't have Jordan Love. He's in the same draft class. Can't have him win.
Yeah, I think you're safe with Detroit.
I'm either rooting for the Buccaneers or the Lions. Anybody out of that bracket.
Jeez.
Leroy, how does it feel to see Baker Mayfield have success?
No, I'm not upset. I'm happy that he's having success.
Did you like the story during the broadcast yesterday when Troy Aikman was telling him how Sean McVay got his swagger back?
No.
Because he's like, I saw Baker, Joe, and I was like, you look like yourself again. He goes, I got my swagger back because Sean McVay said for me to be me. I was like, oh, great, dude. Happy for you.
Great.
I didn't know that he was toning it down in Cleveland. I thought that he was just injured.
He was injured.
I think he was.
I don't think that
rotator cuff was.
He's like, they told me not to be full of swagger. I was like, and you listened? Because
that is not accurate. I think part of it was you can't play with a bunch of swagger and suck. And your injury hindered you from doing the things that you needed to do. And you probably shouldn't be out there, acting a fool, because then it's just going to turn back on you.
Plus, I think he was like living at the stadium or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really rough. Really rough.
The commercials were funny now. When he had the groceries he couldn't get in.
Very tough. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, answering for their crimes.
Wow.
That's next. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tagovailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite ready to go give him the full intro. He got his music back. I need some more time. Everybody give me the grace of a week.
That's good. I'll give you credit for that. To
Yeah,
be honest.
just give me. I'll be back into it. I'll get there. I'll rev up the engine one more time. Just not today. You got the song. We didn't do the sad song.
Yeah,
and that's where we're at right now. Let's get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Oh man, where'd Leroy go? Anybody know? Internet crash? Where do we go?
He said he'll be back. He has some sort of call.
Oh, okay.
Oh, could be something about his knee.
I don't know.
Medical.
No, could be.
Medical timeout.
So Flomingo, dude,
Okay.
is like
This is what we're going to take advantage of. Okay.
This is what we're doing.
Miami Heat did win yesterday, though. Great win in overtime, 96-95. Tyler Herro and Jimmy Butler, they put the capes on yesterday. Jimmy Butler, 31 points in his return at the Barclays Center. Tyler Herro had 29 points, 11 rebounds. They were both awesome yesterday. Bam Adebayo. It was interesting yesterday. Like, did you notice how the strategy of the Nets was basically, we're throwing double teams at Bam all game. Fascinating. He's just coming off Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Congratulations to Bam on that.
Sweet.
I think he's the first player to win it for the Heat since 21, I think.
Damn.
It's been a while. Since the Heat players won that award. So he wins it last week, and then the Nets are just throwing bodies at him. And Bam doesn't like playing Nick Claxton. I mean, like, it's not that he fears Nick. Nick Claxton is just an annoying player to go up against because he's always just like going up against him. He's I wouldn't even say like he's physically, he's just a nuisance. Like, he's always in Bam's kitchen. And then they're throwing two bodies at him. Forced a bad turnover on Bam that sparked them kind of getting back into the game late. But Bam yesterday, 5 of 17, 11 points. Now, did have 20 rebounds. So he was helping in other places. But offensively yesterday, the Heat were carried by Jimmy and Tyler. And Jimmy just does that fantastic thing where he's just like, you know what? Nobody can guard me clean. Getting to the free throw line a bleep ton of times. He was 15 to 16 from the line yesterday. And Tyler Herro, of course, with the very, very clutch threes and many a floater / runners off the one leg to put down the Brooklyn Nets yesterday, 96-95. Meanwhile, the Florida Panthers yesterday, they fall in overtime to the Anaheim Ducks 5-4. In the NFL playoffs, we had 2 games yesterday. The Bills handled the Steelers 31-17. So the Bills are moving on. They will host the Chiefs Sunday at 6:30. That'll be that game. And then also on Sunday, the Buccaneers, who beat the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, they will travel to Detroit and take on the Lions Sunday at 3:00. Your Saturday games, Texans at Ravens Saturday at 4:30. That's a really fun matchup. And then you have the Packers at 49ers Saturday at 8:15. So your divisional round is all set. The Bills, they jumped out to a gigantic lead, although there was some just this Josh Allen shenanigans, as there usually is. You see George Pickens from the Steelers yesterday, Marcos? You see what he said?
No, what did he say?
He said, you're not going to win a game when you play the refs and the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, can he get fined for that? Is that finable?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know. I like it, though.
I like it, too.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Call him out.
Say what you mean what you say. That's what that is.
Yep.
And I felt the exact same way. I was like, you know what? I know the Bills have been good and the Bills have been rolling lately. I don't also need them to get the home. But like, you know what? I get it. You have those heathens in the snow, right? And who knows what those Bills fans are going to do, right? They have all this arsenal in their stands, with the snow. What if you have a Bills fan throw a piss snowball, right? And you're an official.
Gross.
Because they'll throw anything.
Yep.
Snowballs, sex toys.
Wow.
Their limits know no bounds, the Bills fan. So if you're an official, of course you're going to be intimidated by that. You're going to be intimidated by what the Bills Mafia will go out there and do.
So you think the fans bully the refs into
Wow. With
With
piss snowballs. Telling you, dude. You tell me that there's not a ref that walked off that field smelling a little bit like urine.
Jeez. Those are accusations, dude.
I'm telling you, dude, it's going to influence you.
Yeah,
It's going to influence
it
you.
influenced me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Whether or not I call that hold is really dependent on how many snowballs.
Would you rather call the hold, or would you rather get pelted with a piss snowball? I think you know the answer to that.
I didn't realize Buffalo. I feel like more like a Philly thing. I didn't realize.
Well, I mean, like, did you see how much snow was there, dude? Like, they had to go through. I saw some fan. He looked like he was going through the damn Iditarod to get to his seat yesterday. I couldn't even imagine, to sit in that. But they love it. I mean, they're really like mole people. They enjoy living in this just terrible frozen tundra. And this is what they got. They got the Bills and snow and chicken wings and Niagara Falls. What a life. Great. So, yeah, they move on in the playoffs. But it's 70 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And sunny.
Nice.
I was talking to a radio station before the finale when the Dolphins pooped the bed against the Bills. And they had told me that they haven't seen the sun basically in 6 weeks.
Why? It's just been like overcast?
Just overcast. Just dull. Just dull gray. That's just how it is. And it's going to be like that in Buffalo, I would guess, until June.
I want to say forever. Good. You know what? Good. Now I know why they jump through tables like Neanderthals.
Anyway.
Take that elbow room. Hate that place.
Do you think that Taylor Swift's going to travel to Buffalo?
Yeah,
too much.
She's gonna swag surf. Well, it depends on what the wait. Do they do travel to Buffalo?
Yeah, it's the first road game for the Chiefs. God. First Mahomes playoff road game.
Mahomes finally getting some pressure.
Yep, finally gonna have to do it.
That's a good question, man.
If they weren't a division rival, this would be an equally sick of all these teams.
Yeah, for sure.
But I need the Chiefs to win this game. I don't want the Bills getting to the AFC Championship. And they would host it. Well, I mean, they wouldn't host if the Ravens win. The Ravens have home field advantage. But still, I don't know, man.
This is rough, dude. This is rough. You're looking at this game like, who do I hate more? Who can I not stand more? And it's rough. But I think you're right. I think as a Dolphin fan, you have to remain loyal and hope nothing positive for Josh Allen.
Nothing
at all.
But even if he does something terrible, like Tony Romo's going to love it. Doesn't matter.
Oh, Jim, that interception was crisp.
If Josh Allen, let's just say this. If Josh Allen was walking around in a park and he sees some kid and this kid is playing with a puppy, right? So happy, Max, he just got this new puppy and he's just so happy. And Josh Allen goes, "That's my puppy." And he just takes it from him.
Wow.
Tony Romo would be proud of Josh Allen stealing a puppy from a kid.
That's messed up.
He would be. Jeez. But he would be. Oh, Jim, that kid doesn't even know how to take care of that kid. That kid doesn't know how to take care of a puppy. Okay. Josh Allen give him a much better home.
He's so responsible.
But Tony, it's a crime. Is it a crime if that puppy's going to live in a better spot? Wow. Oh, Jim, possession's 9/10 of the law.
Who has the AFC championship? Is that also CBS?
I think it is.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah,
He's gonna follow him the whole way.
The whole way, dude. We need this ended as soon as possible. Anyway, let's get back into the Dolphins. Yesterday, Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, they faced what I like to call the music.
Yeah, they did.
So we need to know, because in these end of the season press conferences, a lot of lying going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll figure out if we're buying what they're selling. That's next.
Nice.
Welcome back. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the program. Miami Dolphins yesterday, you had Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel meet the media. Now, I wanted to play a game, but I don't know where the hell Leroy went. He just said that he was taking a call, and then he just left. So I don't know where.
What is
Messing
that?
with
I
the
don't know.
rundown.
I don't know what the hell
Come
happened.
on,
So we'll get to
bro.
that later. I do want to play some sound, though. I'm not going to wait for him the entire time. So let's go to Mike McDaniel. Now, I want to get to him on when it comes to Vic Fangio, okay? Because I found this interesting. So Fangs,
Yes.
I would have thought that Fangs is going to be back, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, he didn't sign a 1-year contract. did
I
he?
don't think so.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
don't
it was
know. I mean, maybe I'm ignorant to that, but I would have figured that a man of Fang stature is going to get like everything that he wants.
Yeah.
But he was asked yesterday.
3-year deal.
3-year deal. Okay. So I was asked yesterday, or he was asked yesterday about is Vic Fangio going to be back? And this was Mike McDaniel's answer. And I just found it odd.
All right.
I think all things are fair right now. I know there's, it was, we're still kind of grieving through the process collectively as a coaching staff. I have to quite honestly, the main thing that I'm trying to do is make sure that I maintain my communicate with the players. As they go through their exit interviews and that it's about between 50 and 70 guys that I meet with, and then we'll get together as coaching staffs and kind of undress the season in a painful but productive way, and I think that's what all healthy staffs do, really. Regardless of a success or failure.
Weird, right? Like, what the hell was that answer to?
Why would they do that?
Do you expect Jim Harbaugh? I mean, do you expect Vic
whoa.
Fangio back? I was reading some of the chat on that. They want Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But like, what the hell answer is that to is Fangs going to be back? And then it's just like all this, everything's on the table. Can't rule anything out. Deflection, right? And then we're talking about player exit interviews.
Yeah, what does that have to do?
What does that have to do with it? Now,
deflection.
is there a little bit of frostiness towards Fangs? That's the interesting thing that I want to know.
If anything, it should be Fangs towards him.
Well, maybe. I mean, listen, the old love being frosty. Old love being frosty. But do you think that Fangs it could be a couple things I look at this, okay? Because Fangs, the older stubborn, and we had a second-round pick this year, and Cam Smith didn't see the field.
Yep.
No action from him. So,
and we could have used him.
Oh yeah, by the end. I mean, we're playing intangibles wonder by the end. Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen that at the cornerback spot in years. So, I think that is it Mike McDaniel not liking the relationship? Is it Chris Grier not liking that he didn't play his draft picks? Because you're not going to tell Fangs anything, right?
Yeah.
You don't bring in Vic Fangio and you don't let him not do what he wants to do. So I don't know. I just found that odd because it feels to me, in my opinion, Vic Fangio, got off to a bit of a rocky start. The whole defense kind of galvanized around it. Definitely these last few weeks where they're playing basically put together by duct tape and glue.
Yeah.
I would have thought, that solidifies it. Yeah, Vic Fangio did a decent job. Now, they gave up a ton of yards for sure. There was some weird stuff like in that Bills game at the end of halftime where he's playing prevent, like all the way in the end zone where Tua's got the look on his face. But it ended up working. And so Vic Fangio was keeping these games at a respectable scoring margin. And though maybe it took a long time because there was a lot of yards given up, I don't know. I just found it weird. It felt to me with Mike McDaniel, and I know he's long-winded and is very squirrely with his answers, but usually he likes to land the plane. That was nowhere. He didn't feel like landing anything. He felt like kind of just flying around the fields, crop dusting right there. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, for the record, next year, McDaniel, 20 seconds or less on these answers. All right.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
You might want
or
to just
less.
go 60. Like give him an attainable target.
You win a playoff game, you can get 60.
Do you think that maybe there's a spot where like he's looking at Fangs? Now, maybe Fangs is getting interviews that we don't know about. I don't know. By the way, Bill Belichick interviewed with the Falcons yesterday.
Ew.
Yeah. Kind of weird, right?
What? Probably the worst job.
But do you think there's a part of like Mike McDaniel where he goes, I don't like this grump, I don't like Fangs. You're just being all surly. So maybe he gets a cool hipper Fangs, to kind of vibe with him. Or maybe, and this is kind of where I'm kind of leaning more towards. I don't think Chris Grier was happy that he didn't play Cam Smith.
Man,
I think that maybe there's a little bit of, you know what? I don't like the fact that this guy isn't playing the guys that I picked. What's up with that? Why would he go out there and all of a sudden just not play the guys that I selected? I just found it to be an odd answer from Mike McDaniel. Are you going to bring back Fangs? Oh, everything's on the table. We got to finish our evaluations. I was like, wait, what? Because even Beasley, like when he asked the question, he goes, I feel like this is a silly thing to even ask, but is Vic Fangio coming back? And he's like, yeah, he took, the scenic route as Mike McDaniel is one to do. So it struck me, Leroy, as maybe a little bit of beefy beef.
I would say this, that it's really okay that your offensive and defensive coordinators don't get along, right? Because they always have planned. Hell, we saw two guys fight on the sidelines because an offensive guy threw a pass at the end of a game in a 4-minute drill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it happens. That being said, and I'm saying this with a person who really likes Mike McDaniel, I think the energy around that building is because of him. Okay, if you look at the offense and look at the defense held up their end of the bargain.
Agreed.
And so for him to be questioning whether that guy deserves to come back when we have done nothing but applaud with all the injuries that he's had to keep these games relatively close, you might be basically pointing that arrow at you. Because when people start sitting back and evaluating and go, why is he getting rid of Fangs? Fangs ain't the problem. It was the offense.
Right.
So I think he says that. And I think a lot of coaches say that. They don't necessarily realize that we're going to read into it. Right. It's just like, hey, we're weighing all options here. It's a very standard thing. I don't take anything from it because as a football guy, if you're looking at that team and say the problem is defense, you got far bigger issues.
Well, that's why I feel like you have to have the awareness that it is going to get read into, because you have to know that the defense did hold up their end of the bargain. Why would you not then think people are going to think it's a personal thing?
Because here, and here's the funny thing about sports. Right? The first thing every coach, every GM, every owner says to a player when he comes into a team?
What?
Check your ego at the door.
Oh, yeah? The team that has the cheetah says that?
Yeah. Well, but look, Cheetah is going to talk. But Cheetah has never been a diva. There's a difference in talking trash and being a diva. He's always been about the team. As good as he is, he's never made it about him. So I'm not going there with him. Right?
I'm not going there with him. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm not going to say he's not a diva. Like, Cheetah's a huge personality. He's a star.
He's a personality. A diva is one of those people
Mike
that
McDaniel's not a guy who's not
things go bad, he demand they should have got me the ball more or whatever. He's never done that. He's always been a guy like, I got to do better. That's on me. I got to do better. That's not a diva. There's a difference in a personality and a diva.
So you're saying Fangs is a diva?
No. Why? He held up his end of the bargain.
Just because you hold up your end of the bargain doesn't make you a diva. Like, Mariah Carey goes and sings great songs, but she's a diva.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, when Fang starts singing 70 songs, we'll reevaluate.
70s.
Yeah, that's his favorite.
70s on 7.
Yeah, that's his favorite. So, like, I get it. Listen, here's the great thing about sports that people kind of miss in the real world. Everybody doesn't get along, right? Stop it. You just don't. Different people, different personalities, right? I'm more than sure that that I would say that Fangs is nothing like his flamboyant corner. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? They need each other. So they learn how to work it and make it work. There's a lot of things you hear players say that maybe a coach is not with, but that guy's a performer. So let's not make it sound like everybody got to be in there holding hands and singing Kumbaya, because personalities just clash.
Yeah,
So
but Mike
Mike
McDaniel,
McDaniel,
he seems like kind of a Kumbaya guy. So if like it doesn't, he's still the head coach, and if he doesn't get Kumbaya, I feel like that maybe could rub a head coach the wrong way.
And I would say that's cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Don't disagree with you, but I still find
you got to be bigger than that. You got to be bigger than that. This big boy football. You want players that are productive.
Mike McDaniel's asked, I have to ask you about your coaching staff. It's silly to ask, but I have to ask you, do you expect defensive coordinator Vic Fangio back in 2024? Here's what Mike McDaniel said.
I think all things are fair right now. I know there's, we're still kind of grieving through the process collectively as a coaching staff. I have to quite honestly, the main thing that I'm trying to do is make sure that I maintain my communicate with the players as they go through their exit interviews, and that it's about between 50 and 70 guys that I meet with, and then we'll get together as coaching staffs and kind of undress the season in a painful but productive way, and I think that's what all healthy staffs do, really, regardless of a success or failure.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't know,
Hey,
dude.
I don't know.
Can I just say this? He answered the question the only way Mike McDaniel answers questions, where he answers the question and you go, what?
Exactly.
Right. So,
it's a pretty simple question.
But here's the deal. You've known now for 2 years how this man answers questions. You can't now all of a sudden read into it the way you are when you know he answers the simplest of questions that way.
That's as simple as it gets, though, dude. And he's usually
again,
like he takes the scenic route, but eventually, like he'll have a soundbite in there that lands the plane in his 4 minutes of answering.
He danced around.
This was a dance. This is a dance around. It's a deflection,
Check this out. He did a flyover and he's circling back around to try the landing again. But I promise you, when he starts hearing what people are thinking, he's gonna come out and make another comment or make another statement.
Very strange.
I mean, like, I don't, at this point, right? Of all the issues that they had, that was not one of them. That wasn't one of them. And I get maybe he's being deflective and maybe his emotions are, right now at a just in a weird place. But I don't think that was the issue. In fact, we had questions early on in the season, and then he turned it up when Ramsey got back, right?
Dade South says he just said exit interviews take priority over coach evaluations at the moment. I don't think you can make anything of the answer one way or another. Disagree.
That's what I say. Dade South. There you go. But like I get. Listen, Topes.
You gotta have some genuine.
Topes. You my guy, right? You know that. you're in a bad place right now.
I am.
So every comment is garnering more thought than it really should, because it's still Mike McDaniel.
I'll tell you why. Because if Mike McDaniel, ask me the question.
But if you answer it, if he would have answered like you, he'd be you.
I would take Dade South at his word.
Hold on.
Ask me the question.
Hold on. I mean, so Coach, I know this is a dumbass question, but I'm gonna ask anyway because I'm gonna kick the tires on nothing. What you think Vic Fangio will be back?
Now, this is how I'd want him to answer that as normal Mike McDaniel.
He's not normal.
Yeah, I think all things are fair right now. We're still grieving through the process collectively. As a coaching staff, and quite honestly, the main thing right now is I'm trying to maintain and communicate, with players. It's between 50 to 70 guys right now. And, but Vic, was dealt a tough hand at the end of the season. I thought he did a nice job, and, we'll evaluate everything at the end, but he certainly in his first season, had to work with a hand tied behind his back at certain points. So, we'll go through this and undress the season. It's a painful process, and, we'll evaluate coaches when the time comes.
First of all, I know you, and I know you well. There ain't no way in hell you're answering that question like
you gotta
that.
be a little cliche. You gotta fluff them up. You didn't fluff them up.
Wait a minute. Is there anybody of the four of us that believes Tobin would ever answer a question like that?
No, that's not how I would answer
it.
it.
Didn't say that in the beginning.
That's how I would picture Mike McDaniel answer. You got to put a little phony on it.
That's how he wants.
But he's not that guy.
But no, he's nice about everybody, even when the bums are out there.
Man, I promise you, where you're going with this, he probably never thought this is where this conversation would go.
Old Tobin's got listen. I got a big nose. I got a nose for these types of things. And my antenna went, something was there. Let's keep an eye on it.
Would you like another reason why?
We gotta take a break.
No, I'm gonna tell you real quick because they paying his ass $4.5 million a year.
Yeah, but Stephen Ross got the dough.
No,
he got the dough.
Okay, I ask you, Mike McDaniel.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a reason why he should be fired.
Well, everything's on the table right now.
Are you going to fire yourself? Because the offense is what struggled at the end of the year.
Struggling. They couldn't keep teams' drives from sustaining. These drives would go long.
You couldn't score any points.
You're badgering the witness, sir. You're badgering the witness. Are you debating points?
You couldn't score any points. So you're going to fire your ass too?
You're badgering fake McDaniel.
Fire everybody then. If you fire Vic Fangio, you say, you know what? I'm firing myself.
If a guy doesn't if he's a head coach, he doesn't like working with a coach, then you can't tell me that it's like the craziest thing in the world that a guy gets fired.
I've seen offensive and defensive coaches almost come to blows. They don't always get along. In most cases, they don't.
But does he seem like a come to blows type of guy? He's everybody's friend. He's McCoachin.
Which means that he finds better ways to get results other than firing guys and changing a lot.
I don't know.
Okay.
The young and old don't always get along.
Listen, if he would have fired Vic Fangio and make it appear as though that was one of the reasons, then he probably should fire himself.
I don't disagree with you. It's a little soft. I'm not disagreeing with you. But now you're getting into why I find it so fascinating.
You find everything fascinating because you read into everything way too much. I'm not reading into this. You lead all of our people astray with this nonsense.
I listen to this man. I listen to all this guy's press conferences. I torture myself listening to 24 minutes a pop on all these guys' press conferences. And on a question like that, he didn't give you anything. It was gobbledygook.
But you said he gave you something. He didn't give you anything, but you tried to find something. Exactly. That's on you. No. Stop reading.
sometimes
No.
It's like Winnie the Pooh says. Sometimes the very best somethings are when you do nothing, and so when you say nothing, it kind of means to
Winnie
me,
the Pooh didn't
something
say
is bad.
that. Winnie
Yes,
the
he did.
Pooh did not say.
Winnie the Pooh said that,
Wait,
dude.
so he's quoting Socrates, and you quoting Winnie the Pooh. Who am I supposed to believe? The Winnie the Pooh guy or Socrates?
Winnie the Pooh said that.
Wait, you understand what? I'm having an argument with somebody who's quoting Winnie the damn Pooh. You want me to take you serious? Mike McDaniel quote Socrates.
Really
What'd you
hard
say the
time
quote
back
was?
then. Yeah, please tell me what it was.
He can't even remember it. He just pulled
I
random
believe Winnie the
cartoons.
Pooh said, sometimes the very best somethings are nothing.
Kinda.
You know what Winnie the Pooh also said? People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
Doing nothing often leads to the very best of something.
Exactly. So when he says nothing, what did it lead us to?
Wait a minute. We can't just get past the fact that this radio professional just quoted Winnie the Pooh.
Remember that.
We can't let that slide.
What
the hell?
Doesn't even wear pants.
Sometimes we got
wait, and wait. Sidekick chimes in, and that's his contribution.
Sometimes when you don't wear pants, it leads to the very best something.
Okay. I think we gotta go to break.
Yeah, please.
W
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock. Miami Heat got a win yesterday. Get more into that coming up. We'll hear more from Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. But first, time to get to our favorite two.
Your face on Winnie the Pooh is coming.
Why?
And that needs to be for the world to see.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Dude, can I just say this? There's 7 million podcasts, shows, television, radio, podcasts, whatever.
Yep.
I can say without a doubt, this is the only show that quotes Winnie the Pooh.
Goddamn right.
Wait, I wasn't saying you wear that as a badge of honor.
Oh.
You think we didn't?
And this is why we sometimes don't get along. Because I could be blasting you and you think I'm complimenting you.
I thought you were complimenting me.
No!
Oh, bother.
What?
Oh my goodness.
You guys familiar with this popular trend that people are bringing back, the cold plunge?
What? That's coming back?
Yeah. Ice baths have always been a thing, but now people
Yeah.
are doing the, non-athletes deciding, hey, let's make ourselves freezing and dip into some cold water.
Is it for a good cause again? Last time it was supposed to be for
No, I think they're just doing this because
we just ran out of ideas.
It's just a thing.
Can I just say this?
Hmm?
I'm going to go out on a limb because you probably got pictures.
Yep.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is some intangible stuff.
Well, yeah, the person doing this in this particular video is intangible, the most intangibles, I would say. Are you familiar with the wrestler Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah.
So he has installed, I guess, at his home a cold plunge that he has never tried before. And he is giving it its first whirl, and he decided he just wants you all to know it's not going great for him.
Damn it. Whoa.
Okay, dude.
Damn it.
He's knee higher.
Hey, what's up,
He got a foot in.
Damn it.
Come on, tough
Hey,
guy.
what's up,
Get
everybody?
in
It's
there.
Steve coming to the Broken Skull Ranch. I got this new therapy. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Steve coming to the Broken Skull Ranch.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Steve coming to the Broken Skull Ranch.
Okay.
About to do my first cold plunge and renewed therapy. My shop says 43 degrees right now, so I'm sure the water is sub 50. I was going to start off at 50. It's going to be a little bit colder than that. And we're going 3 minutes here. Once it gets on to 12, and 5, 4, 3, 2, down we go. God.
Okay, dude.
Ha ha. Son of a bitch. Ha!
This must be
Oh!
12 seconds.
He didn't last that long.
Gonna revisit this mother.
Whoa!
Wait.
Done.
Can I just tell
That
you?
was a bad idea.
Supposed to be naked. Aren't you supposed to be like half naked or something?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you this?
Yeah.
I filled up my tub in my bathroom.
Oh man.
I have one of the little jacuzzi tubs. I filled it up 3/4 of the way with ice. Then put water in there and just jump right in. Like,
That's what it's meant for. You're supposed to. It's a plunge for a reason.
yeah, but I get in all
Is
the
there
way.
a difference? Yeah, is there a difference between ice bath and plunge? It's the same thing, right?
No, his is probably a little deeper. So I have to sit. He can just kind of kneel down in his.
Yeah.
But I sit and just lay back like this. I get it up to about right here, sometimes a little higher. and I go 10, 15 minutes.
Oh man, he goes,
Like,
we're gonna go
can I
3
just
minutes.
say this? Can I just say this? When you hurt enough,
Yeah.
it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But if you just get in there thinking, oh, this is gonna be therapeutic.
Right.
We already dog brought a dude punishment. All right.
But it's got to do like, is there? I want to know if there's a difference between ice bath and cold plunge.
No, his whole here's the thing. He has water in there where he has a cooler that cools the water.
Oh.
Okay. So that's a homemade that they made that thing for him. This is not the way I do it it's just ice and water.
He said,
I don't know what the temperature is.
If I Google cold plunge benefits, the things that come back, enhanced mood and focus. He didn't seem to have an enhanced mood.
Because he said, hey, this is Stone Cold about 27 times when he put a foot in. So his mentals were not right because he kept saying the same stuff.
This is a guy I'm sure is very hurt. He had the broken neck. I mean, he has been he suffered a lot.
Why didn't he get down to his neck?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow,
because it was too cold. He's gonna revisit that mother bleeper.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, like, and
I would need to see that, dude.
Like, I could do it with no problem, just right in. Because I've done it my whole life.
This tells me they don't have a lot of recovery options in the WWE.
Huh?
He hasn't wrestled for a very long time.
Oh my goodness. I just read that last message and it took me a while to figure out what the hell was going on.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
You
got to just jump in. You can't, but here's the deal.
So I'm sure the water is sub 50. I was going to start off at 50. It's going to be a little bit colder than that.
You got to ease
We're
in.
going 3 minutes here. Once it gets on to 12 and 5, 4, 3, 2, down we go. God. Ha ha. Ha, son of a
Now,
ha ha.
He was glad say he was
mother.
Now, can I tell you this? Can I tell you this about the ice tub or the plunge or whatever? This is a fact. The first 3 to 5 minutes are the worst 5 minutes, right? Then you get numb and you can sit in there for however long.
How long did you sit in an ice tub after like whenever practice or whatever?
15 minutes.
So why is this such a big deal?
Exactly.
Interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Like here you have, but here, if you've never done it, it's really cold when you first get in there, but everything goes numb after like 3-5 minutes. And then you can really get the benefits of it. But if you don't make it that first 3 or 5 minutes, then, and that's when it's the coldest, well, that's when you feel the worst.
I feel like Russians laugh at this.
Yeah, like this is a day at the beach.
Can I just say this? Somebody sent me the video of the black person jumping in an icy lake. Like, you know the people that go in their bathing suits and go jump in the freezing lake? Yeah. No.
Leroy, what's your damage today?
Okay. So we have been watching all weekend some of the single-handed worst football collectively as a whole. There was only one decent game, and that was the Rams against Detroit, right? Where we agreed that was nail-biting till the end. Everything else was a blob. Maybe that has to do with the fact that you now have the number 2 seeds playing, right? And there's that one extra game. But here's where the damage is done. As well as football has been all year and exciting, it had better be good this week, along with the officiating. Because I'm telling you what, I can't have a bad football game and bad officiating. And it just made these games draw out. They were terrible.
Yep.
And all we have, but I will say this. and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, my damage is done is the Dallas Cowboys. Because you realize what that heat would have been if Dallas would have won and the Dolphins lost?
Damage is done.
Been tough.
Woo! So thank you, Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, Eagles.
Thank you. Ooh. Well, we were already, look, the Eagles were already on a slide. So they just had a continuation, right? The Dallas Cowboys, everybody was talking about Dallas Cowboys maybe playing against San Fran for the NFC title.
Look, all terrible. Nobody wants to, but if you're going to grade losses, losing to the defending champs is way better than losing to the champion of the worst division.
Who had to work?
The NFC South. So, like, losing to the Bucks.
Oh, okay. Losing the way you did to a rookie quarterback, a first-year quarterback, is not. I mean, they put 48 up on you.
Yeah.
Now you just score 14 for him, but
you had Flacco though, dude. You knew that was gonna look. It's a
no,
nice.
I'm talking about the vaunted Dallas defense gave up 48. 48 points.
Yep.
All we were talking about how good that pass rush was and how good that defense was, and guess what? 48.
JFig, what do you got for damage?
Speaking of also trending things, the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
The water bottle I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That whole hype needs to calm down.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
They're so
really
ridiculous.
Good, though. Really good cups? Really good cups.
So good that you have to go ahead and bully people in school for it.
What do you mean?
A 9-year-old kid was bullied for taking a fake Stanley Cup to school.
Oh, knockoff?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough.
Damn. That's like
a kid doesn't need that much.
Gotten to the point where people are getting bullied just because
See, the thing is, though, a kid doesn't need that much water.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't Sophie try to get you to buy her one of these?
No, she did get me to buy it, but I didn't get her the full blown one. I got her like kind of like the side thermos one. She lost it. I'm like, that's the last time.
Are you serious?
Back to Publix bottles for you.
Okay.
Really?
She really made it.
Oh, that's why you put your foot down?
Bro, if you go to a school lost and found, like,
it looks like a trash.
It is a graveyard of every kid brings a water bottle to school now, right?
Yeah.
To fill up. But it's I would venture to guess Tommy Tobin has lost $150 worth of bottles. I'm not even kidding. Because of like 15 a pop, he's probably lost at least 10 of them in school since he's gone to school. Wow.
And you got to get the
Not
ones
this
that
year.
you got to get the ones that keep the juice cold.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Note to self, do not.
He's
do
lost at least 10 of them. At least.
Wow.
At least.
That's rough.
Do they still have those nasty? Do they still have those nasty ass water fountains in school?
Sure do, and they don't work with the buttons. You know, you gotta like punch them, or you gotta like tap them.
Dude,
to go.
That's my favorite.
I remember at an early age, I realized when I was out on the public water fountain, because there's always some clown that put their lips all the way on the.
Ew, wow.
Yes.
How else am I gonna get the water, Leroy?
You know what I'm talking about. If you were in school, you saw the one kid just put their lips on, and you're like, "Hey, dude," like everybody knows what I'm talking about. I was out.
Marcos,
my damage is done goes to the smuggiest face in all of football. Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Not sure if you guys remember. Let's go ahead and rewind 8 weeks ago, right? 8 weeks ago, as he exited Arrowhead,
I remember this.
Nick Sirianni screamed to the crowd, "See ya! I don't hear you anymore." Followed by some explicitives.
Yep.
Since
Some
then,
what? Whoa.
explicitives.
Explicitives?
Got fancy with it.
Explicitives is not a word.
Guys, it's galvanized together as we move on.
Big word for me, dog.
Hey, add that to your list.
I think you might need to add that Tyler Herro one to the repertoire of drops. Anytime the English language kicks our ass.
That's a big one.
Big word for me, dog.
Since then, they have gone an astounding 2-6.
Woo!
2-6 since Nick taunted the Chiefs. And look what they did. One of the sexiest men in America, according to one of these
Oh, he was
magazines,
crying
like a blubbering baby.
Yep.
Look at what you did
Hey,
to
do
the
we
beloved Kelsey.
I feel bad for Jason.
Me too.
Why?
He gets the raw deal.
Why?
Even in the commercials.
He's a Super Bowl champion. He's handsome. He'll be fine.
I would love it if he replaced Tony Romo.
Yeah. According to reports, he already told his team he's retiring, although it hasn't been publicly confirmed.
Oh, his tears confirmed it.
Yeah, I think so.
His tears confirmed it.
Those tears, courtesy of Nick Sirianni, he gets my damages done.
All right, we'll take a quick break.
And did I ever? No, I didn't cry when I retired. Like, bye.
We'll take a quick break. Back after this.
Spit your after.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the show. Let's get some cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
I'll crack him open like Stone Cold.
Gotta change his name after that.
He's Stone Too Cold.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a point. Did you do that? Okay, you still get it.
Point for
Cats lose yesterday in overtime, 5-4 to the bad Ducks. You know, a 1 o'clock game, not a true loss.
Come on,
you know,
dude.
hockey's not used to the matinee. You know,
what's up with that?
Not really used to the matinee. You know, he gave the backup goalie a little run. Didn't go so hot. So the Cats lose in OT, get a point, and they'll try and bounce back tomorrow against Detroit.
Anyone heard from Spencer Knight?
I think he's in the minors. Pretty sure he's in the minors.
All right.
Went through a lot, dude.
I mean,
and also Bob. You know, Bob made the All-Star team. Bob's been amazing.
Yeah, no, Bob's been great. Bob's been great for sure.
Bob has been, Bob is having a great season.
Him and Reinhardt, correct?
Reinhardt's been incredible.
Oh, he's been great.
Oh, you're talking about All-Star? Yeah.
All-Star.
Reinhardt's been incredible. So scored again yesterday, by the way.
What to do?
Yep.
This guy's on a tear.
He's on a tear, dude. He's on a tear. Gets the rest of your headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. I'll buy your truck at a car store. Palmetto.
We know trucks.
So the Heat, they win yesterday. They're back in action tomorrow. Little short 2-game trip against the Nets and then against the Raptors. So they'll try and get this done. You know that the Eric Spoelstra hates that. And remember that Nets reporter who was like, why have the Nets had your number? And he goes, I'm not going to concede that. I'm like, whoa. But they did beat the Nets yesterday. It was a very ugly game. Very ugly. Thankfully, though, Tyler Herro hitting floaters like a mother bleeper and Jimmy Butler doing Jimmy Butler things. It was great to have Jimmy Butler back in the starting lineup.
15 free throws.
You know what I am, though, dude? To be honest with you guys can pat me on the back all you want.
All right.
I'm a deep diver.
Oh,
I told you.
Yeah, you called it.
I told you. I did a deep dive into his injury history. I am basically like an investigator. So you guys can thank me later. I told you not to worry. I told you when you'd be back. And what happened?
Came back.
Deep dive Tobes. I'm like Jacques Cousteau, dude.
Leroy was impressed.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Periodically, you just have me dumbfounded.
What do you mean? You would not agree that I deep dove and figured this all out?
They call Tobin Scuba Man.
Call me the Scuba Man.
Not to be confused with Aquaman.
I hate Aquaman. Total bum. Have you seen the new Aquaman?
No.
Of course not. Why would you?
Yeah, not at all.
It came out already?
I did watch the Kevin Hart movie.
Which
Lift.
one?
Oh, where he's like a
Lift.
heist of some sort.
It's basically Ocean's 13 with a black guy leading the way.
Okay, that's cool.
Is it funny?
Yeah, it's cool. It was
Decent.
good. Yeah.
Way better than Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Not better than Scuba Man, though.
Scuba Man. Only you would call yourself Scuba Man.
Dade South.
So before you fought crime, you have to go put on your outfit and get your tank.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of superhero is that?
One that deep dives and knows when Jimmy Butler's going to come back.
like somebody's gonna say, "Hell, I could be Scuba Man. I could do that."
Dade South says that Tobin is Jacques Cousteau. Cliff says that Chris Grier should have been fired 5 years ago instead of promoted. Thanks, Stephen Ross.
Wow.
Jeez.
Grier's getting the blame now?
Yeah. Everybody, listen.
Who said that?
I don't think Grier gets any like he gets the smallest piece of pie on my end.
Wait a minute.
Piece of pie.
Less than 7 months ago, we were praising him. They can turn that quick on you?
Yep.
Talent.
Why? Don't you got to be better than that?
Welcome to sports.
No. Okay. Okay. Welcome to sports.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But that's people's excuse to say or want whatever the hell they want. And my question is, if you want your team and your franchise to compete at that upper level, is that the best thing to do? Is keep starting over? I mean, has what these guys done, and I'm talking about Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, Fangs, the owner, however you want, has what they done in the last 2 years worthy of folks getting fired?
I don't think anybody's asking for fire. We're just talking blame right now. You don't think that anybody deserves a little bit of accountability and blame?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess
Cliff wants him fired.
Let me ask you a question. Can the answer to all of your questions be this? We're not there yet.
No.
Because here's what I would say. Every NFL team has the ability to play good football. What separates and creates the different levels of football, that means the bad with the average, with the above average, with the great, right? The real contenders, is their ability to, one, win games in a number of different ways, but to be able to sustain that for weeks and months and a whole game. We've always seen teams come out and light the world on fire for a couple of minutes, a couple of series, but then it's like horse racing, right? You get outclassed. So what I'm asking you is this: is this a matter of the Dolphins team just isn't quite there yet, but you see some stuff? Or are you saying they should already be able to compete with the San Franciscos, with the Buffaloes, with the Baltimores?
I think the thing that was disappointing with this year, it's interesting because this year the problem was they couldn't compete with the good teams. And in Mike McDaniel's first year, they did fine against the good teams. Like, they beat Buffalo, they beat Baltimore. They had some good signature wins. And I think the thing that was frustrating with this year is they kept feeling like they were they kept telling us they were building towards something, when everybody's kind of concern was, yeah, but you guys got some fraud to you. And then it all kind of just got exposed. And yeah, injuries added to that, but it was confirmation on a lot of people's skepticism of it. And I'm not even saying Dolph fans, because I think you should believe in your team. I'm talking about the pundits, the bums, the people.
I got you.
So when all those pundits are proven right and they're going to laugh at you, like, people are going to get sensitive about it. They're going to want somebody to pay.
What I would say is this: is that you can say all that about the Dolphins winning football games and that they beat up on the bad teams, but does that kind of give you an idea of where you are? Right? All the things that you're talking about. Like, we can sit here and be mad because they haven't beat good teams.
Right. But then it's like, well, what are you basing it off of? Because we were talking about this. Like, is it wins or is it where you're at? So, like, if you say that, then can you use, oh, well, we improved by 2 games? It's like, yeah, but you only did it because you had this soft schedule that you were able to, what's real?
This is what I would say. The bar keeps moving. And the reason why I say that is because they didn't have this problem last year, right? We didn't say this.
No, the biggest problem last year was the first year with Mike is Tua got hurt.
And the offensive line was woof, right? The offensive line got better, even with all the injuries and the moving around. As a unit, they got better. The defense got better, whether it's the play calling, the scheme, or whatever, right? You had skilled players in and out, but the running game was better.
The running game was better.
The passing game was better, right? Now, let's state the obvious. None of these things played out the way you thought they would play out against the upper echelon teams, right? And so that's why people have questions. But my question to you is this: is it because the lack of performance, or because maybe they weren't as good as those teams?
Well, we'll hear a little bit from the GM and what he has to say, because we need to know if we're buying what he's selling yesterday. Him Mike McDaniel
Or
up
we
there.
know what we can't? We can't smell what the Rock is cooking. Or Stone Cold.
Did you mix up their catchphrases?
I caught myself right at the end, but I had already pulled the trigger.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm, your accidentattorneys.com? Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
You sure can. What a beautiful morning. It was clear.
It's the afternoon, dude.
But I was outside this morning, so work with me here. I'm the weather guy. You just listen.
-1.
Beautiful day this morning when I was out and about. Right now, it looks like it's a little partly cloudy. A light breeze, probably like 10 miles an hour. Temperature's got to be above 80 because it's warm. It's a lot warmer than it's been. So I'm guessing when you got this warm breeze, the winds are coming more out of the east, southeast because of that warm air. As it gets cooler, it turns around and comes out of the north. But there you have it. Probably a still slight chance of rain later on in the day because I do see it clouding up and it's a little bit warmer.
So this Marcos, yesterday he wrote this great song, but now he's a little full of himself because he loves and fancies himself a game show host.
Well, do I?
And so he's like, Tobin, I got a game for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you were great with the Dolphins Stan parody, which if you guys haven't heard it, it's gold.
Video coming to Twitter in about 10 minutes.
But what do you want to pageant me with here? So what is your grand idea about the Dolphins in this game?
No, you can't downplay my intro like that.
What do you mean?
Time now for America's favorite game show.
Wow.
Are you buying or selling?
Wow.
Here are the rules, Leroy. I'm going to give you an option. You can choose between McDaniel or Grier. I'm going to play to you a little clippy clip from their exit interviews, and you tell me if you're buying what they are selling.
Wow. So a couple salesmen, Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. Am I buying what they're selling?
We will find out on the inaugural episode of Buy or Sell.
So Leroy, who do you want to pick?
Oh, so I have to pick.
Yes.
Well, because here I'm gonna pick Chris Grier because Mike McDaniel. We don't have time for that right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right, well, give us give us something that Chris Grier was selling yesterday. Frog Barker.
Oh, hey, that's a good one. And when I remember, I gotta owe you a point. Number one, Leroy, you pick Chris Grier. Are you gonna buy or sell this item here with a $50 million price tag? Chris Grier explains whether or not he's comfortable paying the star quarterback.
The market for quarterbacks of his age have been $50 million plus. Is that the number where we should expect if a Tua extension gets done in that range, or is there another level than $50 million AAV?
Wow. No, I think that's just one we're going to keep talking with him. We'll work through it all.
Is he representing Tua?
That's what the market says. That's all.
Yeah, so we'll just keep our conversations working with him, and I think everything will be productive, and we'll just see what happens.
Oh,
Leroy.
First of all, I'm buying what Chris Grier is selling for this reason.
Ooh,
Why in the hell, as a representative of the team, would you admit to $50 million?
Well, I don't think you have a choice like that.
No. Every quarterback doesn't get $50 million.
Now they do.
But what I'm saying is, you don't say yes because that'll be Tua's age's starting point. You see what I'm saying? You're always negotiating.
I think people got to realize, when Tua does get paid, he's going to get paid a lot.
He's going to get paid $200+ million.
That's what quarterbacks make.
Right.
Quarterbacks make a lot of money.
But I promise you, it won't average out to $50 million a year. I don't even think did Lamar Jackson get $50 million a year?
I gotta look.
Yeah, so pulling up these random numbers to make your point is terrible. It's about guaranteed money. It ain't about average per year.
All right. Over the cap. Let's see. Burro, 50 a year. Lamar Jackson, 52 a year.
Okay.
Herbert 52 a year.
How much is
Jalen
it? How
Hurts-
much of it is guaranteed?
Jalen Hurts 51.
How
Total
much is
guaranteed
guaranteed? Right.
for Lamar Jackson 185.
Okay, let's go with that number. The other numbers are a moot point because once you get to the end of that guaranteed money, they're gonna redo his deal. So stop it with the 50 million. It sounds great.
You can't say stop it with the 50 million.
Wait, let me explain why. Remember Patrick Mahomes signed the biggest contract ever?
Mm-hmm.
He's already redone it.
Yeah, but he makes 45 a year.
Okay, but I'm just saying he's that big contract, the biggest contract in football history, has already been redone. That's what you do.
Normally, once the deals, like the 3 deals that got done this offseason were Joe Burrow, Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. All 4 of those deals were over $50 million.
But it has to. Oh my God, I can't. I'll try to explain this one more time. Nobody gives a rat's ass about the average per year. It's about the guaranteed money. That's what makes the contract real. And when that guaranteed money is up, or when it gets close to being up, they're going to redo all these contracts.
We're quibbling. You're quibbling with me.
I'm telling you facts.
You know you're not.
Oh,
I'm actually giving you the facts. I'm giving you the numbers.
What did I just say? Don't worry about the average per year. Worry about the guarantee. Read out the guarantees for all those guys. That's
fully guaranteed or total guaranteed?
Yes. Total guarantee.
Jalen Hurts 110. Lamar Jackson 135. Justin Herbert 133. Joe Burrow 146.
There you go. So that's the number. The other numbers can average out to 50 or 60 or 70. Who cares? That guaranteed money, once that guaranteed money is up, all these guys are going to redo their contracts because no team wants to have that $50 million hit.
You're slowing up the game show. I pick Mike McDaniel, Frog Barker.
All righty, time for round 2 of buy or sell.
It's not the you're buying. Are we buying what you're
Are
selling?
you buying
Where
what
are you
we're
going?
selling?
Why is he leaving?
Did he leave?
He just left. Why buying what they're selling?
He's been lashing out today.
He really has been lashing out today. What's been going on? He's not. So now he's gone again. We've been trying to play this game all day. Twice he's left.
All right. Well, look, you pick Mike McDaniel, dude.
Well, I don't want to do it now because he's gone. And just take a break.
You know, I can't work.
We'll play again.
I cannot work under these conditions.
I'm sorry,
dude.
Frog. I'm sorry. I apologize, Frog Barker. You're a great game show host, but he keeps yelling at me about the average. I'm giving him the average. He goes, "Well, that doesn't matter now. I'm going to fully guaranteed."
He left. Yeah. Well, we'll try again.
All right, welcome back. Tua Lipa.
That's our girl.
Love her.
She's good.
Bops.
Song is catchy.
Yeah.
Take you guys up until 2 o'clock here on the show. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. Miami 560 WQAM. Frog Barker?
Yes.
Let's play round 2, dude.
Round 2. Yeah. Welcome back. Oh, sorry. This too much? Am I doing too much?
No.
Okay.
More.
Welcome back to America's favorite game show. Are you? See, it's a long title. That's why I switched it to buy or sell. Buy or sell.
I mean, you're taking the executive producer liberties, but I mean that's your prerogative. You wrote Dolphin. All right, I'm up. I think Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. All right, Tobin. You will decide if you are buying what they are selling. Mike McDaniel addresses whether or not he will be doing the play calling come this time next year.
No, I think you're always assessing things. You know, an important part of right after the season is to make sure that you're not making your judgments based upon the emotion of the roller coaster ride that you just went on. I think you have to critically assess by slowly evaluating everything. I think, the way I look at it is nothing's off the table ever. Just because, to just say, well, that's the way we've done it. That's not a good enough reason to me. I think we failed to reach our goals.
It's a long sell job.
This season, so that play calling wouldn't live outside that. And we'll see based upon what we do with this season. If we utilize all the lessons learned, we'll see what it actually means as we press forward.
Tobin, are you buying?
I am not buying what he's selling because it's not really on the table. He's trying to make it seem like, me giving a play call, maybe it's on the table.
Can I ask you a question though, Tobin?
It's not on the table.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did you read so deep into the Fangs comments when he basically said the same thing about his play calling also?
Because
everything's on the table. He said the same exact thing, but you read into Fangs. Oh, this is something.
Because I'll tell you why. Because he didn't even mention Fangs. He went off to another category. See, here he actually does bring play calling. He does mention play calling, and he says, well, nothing's off the table. Here's really what it is. Like, we're at a garage sale right now, and Mike McDaniel is like, he didn't realize Mrs. McCochin put out all his bobblehead collectibles. He goes, well, this isn't for sale, and just took it back. So it was on the table, but he took it back. So play calling is on the table, but he's not giving up play call. I'm not buying what he's selling.
I'm
not buying what he's selling.
He's not buying what he's selling.
Leroy, your turn. Who do you want? Who do you want, Leroy?
Who else?
I mean, it's either Grier or McDaniel.
All
you got.
All right. I'm going to stick with Grier because we ain't got time. We got to go on another break.
He's very long-winded. He's exhausted.
All right, Leroy, you will determine whether or not you are buying what Chris Grier is selling when it comes to Xavier Howard and his future with the Fins.
Like everyone, we're going to go through this whole process right now. Xavier's been a good player here for a long time. He was part of the first draft class I had. I've had many talks and discussions, and I really appreciate him and love him as a person and player. So we'll go through this process here, like with every player individually. And, I think he met with Mike today, and he and I may have a conversation here in the next day or so. So
what's that conversation? Goodbye.
Right now, we're just going through with every single player on the roster, and it's no different with Xavier.
Leroy, you buying what he's selling?
Whoa! Y'all gonna have a conversation, and that conversation gonna involve money or terms of your release.
Wow.
Now, here's where it becomes tricky. I don't know what the money against the cap is.
I don't think there's any. I think it's done on here.
Dude, in the words of Tobin, dude. Can I just say this?
I think they are free to move on.
Can I just say this? When you have two choices at corner and you the guy getting picked on, that's all we need to know right there. X, I don't know how banged up he was. Dude was in chase mode a lot this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is very, I don't know whether it's the injuries or whatever, but chase
But I love
mode.
Xavier and Howard.
So we all do. But guess what? Let me ask you a question. You want to pay him 15 to 18 million, right? Or you want to try to sign Christian Wilkins?
Oh, I got to sign Christian Wilkins.
Man.
These are the decisions that have to be made.
I'm gonna go with Chris Grier too. Chris Grier too.
Excellent. You will determine whether or not you believe or buy what he's selling when he says the goal is to have Tua long term.
Oh,
Is it your intention and your desire to strike out a long-term deal with Tua this offseason?
Yeah, no, we've had conversations. Like we said, we wouldn't talk with, throughout the season in terms of contract stuff, but we've stayed in touch with his agent, had good conversations throughout the year. Never talking about money or anything, just good conversations about, where he is and the relationship with Mike and the team here and everything he's done. And, so the goal is to have him here long-term playing at a high level. So, that's always the goal. And we'll continue and we'll communicate with him through the offseason here. And like we've always said in the past, you guys know me, we don't really talk in the media through all that stuff. So we'll keep all those talks internal and with his reps.
Are you buying what Chris Grier is selling?
I am buying what he's selling.
Wow.
I think that Chris Grier wants Tua to work out. I think that they know that this is their guy, Mike McDaniel. He said the term came out of his mouth weeks ago. He said, "That's my guy, man." And as long as Mike McDaniel's here, I think Tua is going to be the quarterback. So I do believe I am buying what Chris Grier is selling.
You hear that?
Whoa,
is that
what?
Oh, they're backing up the Brinks truck.
Oh,
they're backing up the Brinks truck for Tua.
I mean, you always have to answer these questions carefully because you don't want to say anything that would give them leverage in the negotiations.
Right.
So that's why he won't commit to a number. He won't say 50 million. Don't even let 50 million come out of your mouth because that'll be to a starting point.
Maybe Chris Grier does his own game show where he brings to a mystery box.
Oh, I love mystery boxes.
Give us what else we got? Leroy, your turn.
Leroy,
who do you want, McDaniel or Chris Grier?
You know what? I'm gonna play with fire.
Oh,
I'm gonna play with fire. I'm gonna play with that fire that is Mike McDaniel.
Oh no.
Mike McDaniel had an explanation. A lot of people question his game plan in Kansas City. Are you buying what he's selling in regards to why he called so few down the field passes? This is what the coach had to say.
Why were there so little downfield passes? Is there a concern whether Tua can play in those conditions?
No, I think the type of defense that they were playing with aggressive reroutes, and it was a quarters man predominantly. That's kind of what it's orchestrated to take away. I think I didn't really think of it in that lens in terms of it was that night for that times guys made very accurate passes, short and long, and then guys missed guys short. It wasn't. I think our one touchdown was on a ball over the top of a quarter safety. So I didn't really look at it like that.
But you buying what he's selling?
You buying what he's selling?
To some extent, yes. I would say
Oh,
he was trying to counter the defense that was played. But sometimes if you play into the defense's hands, then they have the upper hand on you. Sometimes you got to force the issue. Sometimes you have to, devise something that
Right.
puts their defense in stress instead of letting them be comfortable.
It's a cat and mouse game.
Oh my God.
Right.
Can I just tell you?
Cat
After,
burger.
no. Time out. If I may. I just had to listen to 3.5 minutes of Mike McDaniel and followed up with old Dum Dum adding to it. Right? Like,
I'll take the -1.
wait. His what he brought to the table was cat and mouse game. So now we're on Tom and Jerry now.
Yep.
Right?
We're just going through all the cartoons.
Can you leave the cartoons alone?
The animals alone, dude.
Right. We got cat and mouse. We got, first of all, you quoted Yogi Bear, which is just ridiculous.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Different bear this time.
Well, Winnie the Pooh.
You quote bears a lot.
Well, I mean, the Dolphins did get their picnic basket swept.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Dude, what are you doing?
Let's take a quick break. Back after this.
WQA.
305.
Yes, sir.
Wade County.
16 years later.
We done made history.
Put rings on our fingers. Pockets getting fatter. We getting greater.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQA. Let's get some headlines here, huh? Brought to us by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
So we didn't get to talk about this yesterday. Obviously, it was Dolphins' funeral day. We didn't get to do a lot of talking about D. Wade night at the arena on Sunday. I was boots on the ground, and it was exciting, Leroy, because D. Wade, they were honoring his Hall of Fame induction, and they added the Hall of Fame part to his name in the rafters. But then old Pat Riley strolls on up because he's doing a halftime interview for the fans with Jax. D. Wade was. And here comes the Godfather out of nowhere, like a wrestler. And Pat Riley has a bobblehead in his hand, Leroy. You're like, oh. And now when I saw the bobblehead, I knew it was up because I was like, oh, Pat Riley doesn't bring just toys anywhere.
It sounds like something you would do.
Pat Riley tells the crowd he has an urgent and important announcement. Here's the Godfather.
We're going to hang from the banner or from the rafters. I think we're going to put a bobblehead like out there. Next year will be a statue 8 feet tall. 8 feet tall. We wanted to make sure it was bigger than Shaquille O'Neal. It'll be the first statue ever that they'll be here on Biscayne Boulevard, Dwayne, and it is forever for the greatest player in the history of this game, man. I love you. Next year, everybody right here will be a statue. And I want to thank the Harrison family. They're the ones that came up with the idea, so it's going to be great. Good luck to you, my man. And here, you get to get the bobblehead for a while.
Wow.
Goosies galore.
That was Goosies galore, dude.
That's cool.
Pat Riley comes in.
Goosies.
And he tells you, statue. Finally, we got it. Ben was like, listen, it's about time. I've been telling you, put a statue out there. D. Wade. He also made fun of D. Wade and says, haven't you had like 4 retirements already?
It has been quite a bit.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. You know what's crazy, though? His jersey retirement, that was 4 years ago already. I know it doesn't seem like that, but his jersey's like D. Wade's been out of here for 4 years. Feels like he just left. It feels like he just left. But D. Wade is getting a statue. The same people who made the Michael Jordan statue outside the United Center.
Nice.
And the Dutch.
I was looking up who else has a statue kind of thing to see where this would fall.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, he's in good company. We know about all the ones out west because the Lakers just make a statue for everyone.
Lakers have a lot of statues.
Sick of that. But I didn't know that
there's a lot of statues outside the crypto. What is it called now? The crypto.com arena?
Yeah.
We're still doing crypto, huh?
Yeah,
they are. I guess crypto.com, their crypto still cashes.
Yeah, they got Magic Johnson, Shaq, Kareem.
De La Hoya's out there.
What?
De La Hoya has a statue outside the Staples Center.
Get out of here.
Or whatever the hell
it's called, yeah.
That is cool though. And he is that's gonna be a cool thing to visit, and now there can be an actual like statue there instead of a clown who's in a costume all the time in front of the arena. Now we actually have a monument.
Okay.
I wonder who that clown is.
I don't know.
Looks familiar.
I don't know. But D. Wade at the half after his halftime, he addressed the media a little bit, and here's what D. Wade had to say about getting himself a old statue in front of his house.
I definitely feel that gives me a little bit more, ability to be able to say this is my house. It's not something I dreamed of, but it's something I definitely grew up knowing about. When Michael Jordan had a statue in Chicago. And that was the first statue I've ever seen. And so to be able to be at this point in my life where I know that the same feeling I had when Jordan had his statue is the same feeling that young kids will have coming and getting an opportunity to visit my families will have, to be able to create memories and moments in front of this arena. So, man, just special. And I can't dream big enough, because a lot of these things I just never knew was possible for me. But I'm super honored to be here and to be able to get that from Pat in front of the fans. Something fell in my eye, some paint fell out the ceiling and went in my right eye. But it was everything.
Liar! You were crying.
Oh, it was pink.
I'm surprised. Wait, I'm surprised Tobin wasn't crying.
I had to keep it together. I was in the media room.
You told me that never stopped you before.
No, I got to put on my journalist hat. I'm a professional.
Yeah, okay.
Can't get the goosies in front of D Wade and everybody there.
Investigative.
Were you hiding your face? Like,
no, I was. It was. See,
he was like, no. You know what he did?
Did you have to scratch your
He
head?
goes, I know exactly what you mean, D Wade. I got some paint in my eye too.
If only that lazy man would put the sign up.
So I was thinking about that. Do you think the sign will be up before or after?
I'm gonna
the
really
statue?
badger him now, because I'm actually pissed off about this.
Okay.
Especially when he used us.
Especially with that hocus pocus presidential campaign that he did.
Yeah, that's over now.
Like, come on, dude.
He's gonna need some good press.
Enough playing pretend. Yeah, you want some good press? Get your ass out there.
Yeah.
You see, but Spo, he admitted to the old goosies. He was not an easily moved man, but he said that the D Wade statue announcement, because the whole team stayed out there, Leroy. They stayed out there during halftime to watch this.
Cool.
I think Bam said that he had the leak. He said I knew. So I think he told everybody what was going to happen.
Pat kept that in his pocket. Pat is the godfather for many reasons, and that was. I was standing right next to Karan, and he had the same reaction as me, just goosebumps, and I was like, whoa, I definitely wasn't expecting that. He comes out with a bobblehead. I didn't know where he was going with that. And then, he drops the mic on that one. He shocked all of us. He shocked Dwyane. I love seeing Dwyane have that really sincere, genuine reaction to it, where he was speechless. That was just really cool, and that's why Dwyane is Dwyane, and that's why Pat is Pat, and that's the way it should be. That this is just one night, and then the statue will be there next year. That's going to be really cool.
It almost makes you think, like, how many times has Pat Riley just had a weird trinket that's supposed, like, what does he have to?
Oh my goodness!
Goosies.
You actually gave no reaction. You had no reaction. I don't believe that.
I didn't have a reaction.
You were
not for everybody. I tell you what,
public.
He had this. D Wade did have this answer though about his love for Heat fans.
Oh.
This one I kind of had to hold it together. Like I was like, ooh.
He was talking to you.
Because he kind of was.
Oh, okay.
Like it wasn't my question, but it was.
Was he looking at you?
No, but I felt moved by his answer. Because I think we can all, as Heat fans, and if you're a fan of D Wade, I think you could all relate to what he was saying. And this is like, this is why like he is who he is.
Different. I go all around the world, and the love is definitely there. I always tell people I get 99.9% love in real time, and I get about 1% hate on social media, so who cares? But here it's just different. I was talking to Chris Riley. I was talking to Madeline Harrison last night, and we were just talking about, I was born and I was raised in Chicago. But, this is where I grew up, 21 years old until, 37. I grew up here, and so a lot of the fan base, they grew up with me. A lot of the kids were young, who is now, a little older, and their parents forced them to watch me and forced me to be their favorite player because I was theirs. So it's great. It's no love like, Miami love. And every time I come back here, I feel that. And so I said upstairs when I was talking to Jax, I'm not the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball, but you can't tell me that and nobody in Miami that when I come here. I feel like the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball when I step into this arena and when I step into this city and the state.
That's goosies galore, dude.
That is. That's really cool.
That's really cool.
Goosies.
He's right about forcing your
Goosies
kid to say
galore.
that's your my son's never going to see D-Wade play live, but that's his favorite player.
As it should be.
Because I said so. That's
Yeah.
that's
Right though, Miami has a certain type of love that just can't be replicated anywhere else.
No, not at all. Like it's one of the dude. Like even when he went to Chicago, like it was bad for everybody because like it was such a terrible break. It was like a funeral in this town when that happened. And then the headline when he gets to the Chicago Sun-Times, not "Welcome back, hometown kid." It was Plan AARP. That was the headline.
Yep.
I was like, geez,
ingrates.
Yeah. And so like when he came back here, it just felt like it felt right again. And so very happy that he gets he gets the statue, much deserved. You see what he said about Jaime?
Oh, no. What did he say?
Baller.
Baller.
He didn't say anything about you though, did
Oh,
he,
okay.
Nicola? You didn't make impression on God? Mama. He saw Jaime play in just a couple minutes. He scored like 15 points in 6 minutes. And where were your points? You were out there starting too.
He had some good plays,
He has had some. Did you, Leroy? Started yesterday, even with Jimmy back.
Look at that.
With Jimmy back.
Hasn't made it back to Sioux
I
Falls.
think dude, I gotta tell you something.
What's that?
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think that's his spot.
Wow.
Okay.
I think that's his spot.
Okay.
He's going out. Leroy. God, I love him watching dishing the basketball.
Okay.
I'm telling you, dude. Jaime and Jovic, different dynamic. Something about it. Like a flamingo stands on one leg.
Okay.
And like, dude, I'm telling you,
Okay.
the floatmingo. Like, imagine Tyler
Can I just
Herro.
say this, Marcos?
Yeah.
I ain't buying it. We still playing that game?
Yes, okay.
Part 3.
Part 3 of
Like,
By Ourselves. Still working on that.
What are you doing, Tobin?
What?
Stop trying to force feed us with that.
I'm telling you, the flamingo, dude. It's gonna be a thing.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be a thing.
No, it's not.
But he did say, Jaime.
We can put it on Dartboard of Doom.
Hmm?
That the loser has to stand.
Stand like a flamingo.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so we got cold plunge, we got the flamingo,
whoa,
we
for
got
how
chicken of
long?
the show.
I don't know. Not the whole show.
Absolutely not. That is that's torture.
Chicken
What do you
of
mean?
the tree.
You can switch legs, but you got to be on one leg.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Not for the whole show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Leroy can't do it medically, but yeah, you got to do it for a whole show.
No, for a segment.
You, Leroy.
Well, he can't do it. I mean, he hasn't lost, so it doesn't matter. But like, he
Segment.
can't do it because of his knee.
Oh, Leroy doesn't lose these things. So it
Never
doesn't
lost.
matter. Never.
Perfect. The flamingo.
No, see,
Mingo.
What?
Marcos
Yeah.
hit him. He tried to sneak one in.
That's
Why?
He did.
-1.
He tried to sneak it in.
Yes.
Here's Jaime after D-Wade's love to him. He had questions to answer. I'm like somebody I know.
Was it like the first time in this building with the D-Wade experience?
I mean, it was great. I wish I could have been out there for the halftime, but I was in the back working on my groin. But I mean, Dwyane Wade getting his statue. I mean, no guy deserves it more than him. Big inspiration to me growing up, even being on the West Coast. He's one of my favorite players of all time, and just to be able to have this moment and get this win for him on this special night means a lot.
What do you think that the statue of Jaime is going to be like? Do you think it's just going to be footwork? Could they
No.
make multiple statues?
I think they're just gonna make it of Kylo Ren. He's just gonna have a lightsaber,
like where he's frozen.
And guess what? And everybody in Miami is gonna know what that means, which is the point. This is not for everybody else. This is for us, right? It's just like when they do the D-Wade statue, he's got to do "This is my house," right?
Oh, of course,
Right?
no
Now,
doubt.
And
I don't think it's a debate.
And Miami is the only ones that are gonna know what that means.
If you know, you know. You
Right,
know, like that's it's not even a debate with it. What it should be. It's
So
either
what?
and they should do it with the statue. Like I know they said they're gonna make it 8 foot. Like make part of it the scorer's table. Like you have him on the scorer's table, pointing to "This is my house." Like
Yeah.
Right.
I want detail on that scores table too. I want Eric Reed.
Now,
And
do
it's
you
gotta
want-
and it's got to be right in the front of the building,
Now,
Yeah.
do
When
we take?
everybody walks by,
But do we
they
take?
know
Let me ask you
this-
this though:
Huh.
Do we take historic liberties with it because he was wearing an L Heat jersey when it happened?
Ooh.
But you can't see the jersey.
What do you
They
mean?
just usually have the number.
No,
and they
the
don't.
statue- so you want it like you?
No,
so
if,
like-
if it's a bronze statue, you don't really see the colors.
I don't know.
Damn, he
Not sure.
was wearing an L Heat.
He was wearing an L Heat jersey.
That would make it real Miami. Right? Right? That's the point, though.
We'll take a quick break. Back after this.
WQAM
what I need.
Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hey, Marcos, there is no more Game Day Uncensored 15 minutes. Fix it, dude. Why did you play that?
Well, sometimes I mess up, dude. What can I say? Although 15 minutes of heat is coming back.
Oh,
yes, indeed.
Wow.
Yeah, with some slightly new imaging. We can't go away from, the classic.
Yeah, of course. What is the classic? I totally forgot.
Love anyone who's tuning in right now.
I don't know what we're doing. Bill Belichick interviewed with the Falcons, huh? I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that.
Why on earth would he go where there's no quarterback?
I don't
Has
know.
he not learned his lesson?
You would think, right?
Strange.
Also, wouldn't that fan base hate his guts? That was a pretty famous collapse.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about
There's some
No, I
things
think
that
they hate Shanahan more.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Atlanta, huh? I don't know.
Is it because he gets more power there or something like that?
I'm sure Arthur Blank will do whatever because he had.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Where did they pick this year? Did they?
Why would he want more?
They pick
power?
the second or third?
Atlanta? No. Atlanta was kind of decent, right? They were 500. They were in it in the last week.
They were in where
So they probably
Dolphins were.
they probably got 13, something like that.
They were too good to get a good draft pick, not good enough to get.
According to tankathon.com.
Tankathon.com. That is good.
Do they have a first round pick this year? Maybe they traded it.
Oh my god.
Oh, 9th. My bad. Oh, 8th. Okay. 8th.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Won't be any quarterbacks available
I was
then.
gonna say, is there a quarterback? You're gonna have to overpay for one or something like that.
No, wait a minute.
Too much?
Let me explain something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seems to think you can just go get a quarterback. We need to stop with that. Right? Like you said, they can just go pay big money for who?
No, I
all the other teams are thinking the same crap, right?
Yeah, but Bill Belichick.
Oh, okay.
Belichick's going to do his hocus pocus.
Okay. I ask you this, Marcos.
Yeah.
On the open market, who's available?
No one good. How about that?
Baker.
Is he?
Baker will stay in Tampa.
I think he's going to stay in Tampa too, but
Yeah.
he is available.
But again, you understand what I'm saying. Stop making it sound like, that, we can just go get another one. Really?
Get Ryan Tannehill.
He's available. Yeah, there you
Sam
go.
Darnold, Jameis Winston.
There you go. There you go.
Mariota.
There you
James would be kind of a fun
Let me
guy.
ask you, Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
you think you getting a record with any of those quarterbacks?
Is anybody else good? Because I don't think the Eagles. I don't think he's good. Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick. I just can't imagine Jerry giving him control like that. I mean, he's done it before with Parcells, but
here's what I would say about that. Right?
A lot of bad quarterbacks.
Is that Bill Belichick could go in there and say, here's what we need to do on defense to be more productive. And they will listen.
well, I tell you one thing: when he sees Micah Parsons, he'll be like, "I'll tell you who you're not. You're not Lawrence Taylor."
Well, because I tell you what, LT is known for his sacks and just being a freak of nature, but he also stopped the run.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons does not stop the run.
Speaking of a guy who does both this year, after people said he couldn't get after the quarterback, Christian Wilkins.
Yo, boy.
Do you want to hear what Chris Grier had to say about that?
We probably should have paid him last year.
Here's Chris Grier on Wilkins.
We've always talked here in the past. Our goal is to keep as many good players here as we can. They both earned the right to be free agents. Christian and I actually had a really good conversation today. Very happy for him. He bet on himself after a summer of negotiations where, we made a couple offers and one we felt very good about was fair, and he and his representation said as much, but we couldn't close that gap at the end. And so he bet on himself and paid off for him. Very happy for him. So we'll stay in communication and see where this ends up. But he earned the right to be a free agent. And again, I'm happy for him. We drafted him here, developed him here, and the type of person we're looking for. So we'll see what happens.
It's gonna be very annoying. If he goes
Let me break that down for you.
Please.
See, you break down things. I break down things totally different. Ask me the question.
Christian Wilkins, one of your upcoming free agents. You know, you guys had a long negotiation last year, didn't come to be. After his year this year, do you want to keep him around for the future?
Damn. For another $2 million, I could have had him. Now it's gonna cost me umpty million. So he bet on himself. We gave our best offer and said, in so many words, you don't get sacks like Aaron Donald to get paid like Aaron Donald. He proceeded to get sacks like Aaron Donald. And oh crap, we're in trouble. Beep, beep, yep. Beep. Yep. Who gets paid first? Tua or Wilkins? See, because I think, here's the deal. I think you can get Tua with 110, 120 million guaranteed money. And what it looks like is a whole nother story. But we're talking about the guaranteed money, right?
Yep.
So you can get away with that with Tua. With Christian Wilkins, it's going to cost you 60 or 70 guaranteed.
Probably.
So you about to go guaranteed 200 million with those two players.
You think they franchise Christian Wilkins?
No.
Because that's going to be like, what, 20 plus million?
No.
Just by itself?
No, because
Well, Tua's not a free agent because Tua is under contract this season.
But you need
Wilkins fulfilled his contract.
Here's the problem, right? You franchise him, that's hard money. If you're trying to re-sign a bunch of different guys, you need as much freedom when it comes to money as you can get. So it would be in the best interest of all parties involved, I mean the Dolphins, to try to get a contract deal before you have to put that tag on him and put the tag on somebody else.
This is the thing, though, that I find interesting with the Tua thing. Isn't it okay for the Dolphins just to say, hey, play out your contract? They did it with Christian. Christian did it.
Okay, but here, if he plays it out and they were offering him 15 million, then it'll go to 18 million. Right? If you offer Tua 30 or 35, and then he goes out and balls out, he's gonna be the highest paid quarterback in the league.
But this is the thing what I look at with him is the Ravens just did this with Lamar Jackson, where Lamar Jackson had to play out his 5th-year option. They still didn't pay him. Then they went to, okay, now you can go look for a trade and all that. He never did, and he still signed with him, and he's now an MVP candidate with his team. Like, optics were bad, yes, but that's all you suffered was bad optics. Really, you didn't have a punishment of having him play out his contract.
You clearly can wait. And I'm not saying that anybody would be upset by that, right? But I would make every attempt to sign Tua first because the difference in money, if Tua balls out, which you expect him to do, is going to be far greater than what Christian Wilkins did this year, and he balled out. Like, no matter what, Christian Wilkins is not going to be the highest paid D tackle. That's going to go to either Chris Jones or Aaron Donald or some guys of that nature, right? But those positions work a little bit differently at quarterback. Because if you're a starter and you're up, right, that money, you just start at where the money ended.
But I get you, but like no one's ever gonna be like if like it's saying your scenario Tua does ball out, and by ball out I mean he's, he does what he does this year, but also like takes a step. The team gets more wins, or the team gets to win in the playoffs. Winning in the playoffs is really the big thing that you want, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be mad about paying your quarterback the most? Like
Right.
Nobody.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. But I'm saying you're in a very unique but good situation. You have a lot of good players whose contracts are up.
Mm-hmm.
You started by signing some of these guys earlier, right? Because could you imagine if you had to sign Sealer after this year?
Oh man, yeah.
Right. So
Sealer, Austin Jackson.
right. So you did kind of have somewhat of a preemptive strike on this, where you start planning for the future early, and you start knocking off the younger or the smaller contracts and get them tied up before you deal with the bigger ones.
But like in the case that you do peter out again, or the Dolphins even take a step back this year, then you're not locked into them, you know. And
Yeah,
I know
no,
it's cold.
like either way, I don't have a problem with it. What I would say about that is, if the team were to do something like that, doesn't it almost sound like you're rooting against your quarterback?
I can, yeah, I get that, but again, I look at the Baltimore example, and they just went through this, and there was even with them, there was hostility, because there was, remember, people saying like, oh, it was Lamar not playing through injury because of not having the contract and all that. Yeah, like there'll be some bad optics, and Tua's going to have to do some uncomfortable press conferences. I guess the difference I would say is, you have a coach who's supported him because he's publicly supported him. And I just wonder what the harm is in the Dolphins and Stephen Ross just saying, can you, and the coach I think is tied to this too with Mike McDaniel, to be like, can you guys just show me as a package that you can go win a playoff game? Can you do that?
Yeah.
And is it that wrong for him to ask him, hey, this upcoming year, go earn it, go prove it?
Oh, that's all fine. But when you say things like that, you're basically saying the reason why we haven't gotten there already is because of you. You see what I'm saying?
But if you were to look at what are they going to be, the guys who cost the most, and the guys who are a big reason for the offense are the head coach and the quarterback. It's not everything, but it is a reason, and it petered out.
Okay. All right. I just think, you try to work something out, because I think if you work something out now, you'll save $5, $6, $7 million a year.
I guess. Well, that's the thing, is I don't foresee Tua's representation like taking a discount. I think they're going to go with, oh, he was the number one accurate quarterback. He was the number one leading passer. Like, the statistics are on the agent's side. It's the winning the big games that aren't, but they'll have plenty of arguments to say he deserves X, Y, or Z. I don't foresee them giving the Dolphins, or trying to give the Dolphins, a big discount. If they do, then I'm wrong. I mean, if they can get a sweetheart deal, by all means. I just don't see that being the case.
So my question has always been this: what if I give you $40 million, but guarantee $140 million? If I give you $40 million a year, but I guarantee $140 million, right? So everybody else's contract averages out to 50 plus million, but their guaranteed money won't be as high. And so there's a number of different ways to do it. We're looking at the average per year, and I'm saying don't worry about the average per year. Worry about the guaranteed money, because that separates all these various quarterbacks. And when you look at guys going from 120 to 130, 110 to 135, that's more along the lines of what you want to see from Tua, not necessarily the average per year.
Dade South has just put a really cool Christmas gift clause into his contract. He'll sign it.
It's true. That's all it takes.
Take a quick break. Back after this.
Spend your afternoons with Hawk and Crowder.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin, Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the program. If you guys missed any of the show, you can download the Tobin and Leroy podcast, available for you on all podcast platforms. And check it on out. We have just tweeted out, by the way, Doll Stan.
Oh, yeah.
The fantastic 2023 Dolphins recap by Art God Savvy.
That's right. We got visuals for it, people. We have visuals for it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Scorsese did his thing. What? That's how you say his name?
Scorsese?
Scorsese did his
He
thing.
did his thing.
That's my boy.
What?
I don't know. Just say things.
So where'd you
sometimes.
post it?
It's on my Twitter account
On your
because
Twitter
it was very
account?
long, but
Yes.
we're gonna repost it
I'm gonna repost
on
it right now.
Art God Savvy.
Yes.
At Art God Savvy. Go
Tobin
follow.
was kind enough to teach me the ways of social media. You know he's a social media savant.
Some people say that. I'm a deep diver too.
He is a deep
diver.
A deep diver.
Yeah, something about a long press. We talked
Man,
about this.
That guy made such a mistake yesterday in that Heat game, trying to give a flop to Jimmy Butler.
What is that? Dude?
Whatever.
You gotta know your audience.
You gotta know. Isn't it crazy though? Like how many people from Brooklyn, like those Heat fans, the Heat chants were loud in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
They always are, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it's like, I mean, you'll hear it from the no, that whole building was like, wow, this is, it was they overwhelmed the Nets. I think it kind of pissed them off a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be biased, but I don't think I hear that for any other team.
I don't know. Lakers. There's always a lot of Lakers fans. There's a lot of Mecca bros all over the place.
Yeah,
but they don't have a great chant.
Yeah, like what? Let's go.
What is the Knicks? They got those stupid Bing Bong people.
Yeah,
What do they
do.
chant? Bing Bong.
Bing Bong.
Jeez.
You got Ben Stiller who's sitting there crying and whining about them. Oh, they talk too much about the like. Imagine a Knicks fan having the audacity to say that that ESPN is biased for the Heat. The craziest thing I've ever heard of.
This guy's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. Is there a matchup you're looking forward to most this now weekend, Leroy?
I'm curious to see how Green Bay matches up against San Francisco. I'm guessing that Baltimore will handle Houston, but the thing that I'm afraid of is whenever you have a young team with young players, they haven't yet fully understood the enormity of the game, and they're just out there playing football. And CJ Stroud is just cool. That dude don't flinch.
Look who decided to show up. Old Robbie the Degenerate, Cycle of Doom himself.
There it goes.
Social media is for the birds, he says.
Jesus, dude. Keep them away from JFig.
Thought that definitely. I thought for sure he was gonna call in and be like, hitting us with the Cycle of Doom.
Told you so.
He's been very silent.
I think he's hurt too. Deep down, he believed.
I don't think he never believed in Tua. He never wanted Tua.
I know.
Well, he wanted Tua. He wanted Tua right out of the draft, but then he was like immediately rats off a ship after the first failure.
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
He said he wasn't a blacksmith.
Here's what I would say to you right now.
That's right.
If I gave you a do-over, would you want Justin Herbert?
No.
No. What?
Okay. So
what?
Let me say this about the draft. Is it possible that you could pick the best guy and it's still the wrong guy? Like, of your options that were afforded to you at the time, you picked the best player at that moment. Now, it doesn't mean, 10 picks away, somebody could end up being better. I'm not saying that. But as of right now, when that draft took fold, did the Dolphins make the right choice?
I think so. I like Tua better than Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert hasn't done squad douche. And people who are saying Brian Flores is right, you guys know like the Dolphins didn't choose Tua over Brian Flores, right? Like you guys are all missing a big thing there. Like the reason Brian Flores got fired is because he offended Tom Brady. Like that's the whole reason that he wasn't brought back. Like he didn't want to tamper with them the first time. Then they were rats off a ship. He wanted Deshaun Watson, was rats off a ship on Tua. And then they were like, we're going to go get Tom Brady and Sean Payton. And Tom Brady's like, I'm not playing for Brian Flores. He already ruined the plan once. And so like, that's why Brian Flores was fired. It wasn't like the Dolphins were like, no, it's got to be Tua. Like, that's not what happened. That's what they fell back into, because then Brian Flores was like, oh yeah, I'm going to sue you. Watch this. And then the whole thing was blown up. They got caught for tampering, and they fell ass backwards into McDaniel and Tua. That's where they went into. Like, let's not forget that. Like, let's not forget major details to the story. And maybe you Dolphins would have wanted Tom Brady. I couldn't have stomached it, because it's like selling your soul to the devil. Now, even still, somehow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sold their soul to the devil, and they still ended up with a playoff win because they got Baker Mayfield. Because they got matched up with a collapsing Eagles team and beautiful weather in Tampa Bay. But that's what they get for winning their division. The Dolphins had their division. They blew it.
Agreed.
Robbie said that Brian Flores is going to use the Chiefs tape in court.
I just like, I get caught up in this, not because, I want to, be an apologist or anything, but sometimes in life you can make the right decision and it not work out. That doesn't make it the wrong decision. It happens a lot when teams pick the first overall pick. Sometimes it's every team in the world knows that the best player available in this draft is X. And if X turns out to be a bust, it doesn't mean that the team drafted him was wrong, because that was the best available at that time.
Cat for Life says we got a draft pick taken away too. I know Flores got his laughter because he busted the Dolphins on tampering. Good for him. That's good revenge. Look, I respect petty. If we're gonna out petty each other, but then saying things like Watson beat the Ravens with a busted shoulder, it's like, okay, great. A regular season game. Ask the Browns fans how they feel about Deshaun Watson. Ask them. Leroy? Exactly. They love Joe Flacco more than Deshaun Watson right now.
Well, listen. Old Joe doing old Joe things softened that a little bit too.
Yeah, well, it wasn't softening it for the entire for that last quarter of the season where he was their hero.
You are absolutely correct. But isn't that how fans operate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But like I'm not gonna see Deshaun Watson. Really? That with that money and that baggage and how his play has been, now we're gonna go back to that well? It's hilarious.
Listen, of all of the options that the Dolphins had in the time that Tua was drafted, I feel they made the best choice. All right. How that plays out, we don't know. But that decision at that time was the right decision. Based on where we are now. Okay. I mean, listen, I'll tell you what. Even on a busted hip with a weak arm, with not knowing how to fall, with getting concussed, he's played better football than Justin Herbert to this point.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's one playoff appearance was worse than Tua's was, because they blew a 3-touchdown lead.
So from that standpoint, and I'm not saying Tua's I'm with you with what everybody thinks. Let it play out or what have you. I'm fine with that. Okay, but you need to understand the most important thing with Tua's contract is the guaranteed money and not how much it is per year. So when you hear the numbers, that's the most important piece of it, is the guaranteed money. And the guaranteed money for all these players that are averaging $50 million a year, right? Or in between 110 and 140. So those are the numbers you have to pay attention to.
Well, I think the thing that's going to be interesting is just the idea of locking them up. Like that's the interesting part of it, because like the numbers always change and the salary cap's hocus pocus anyway. You know, like it's just a matter of, are the Dolphins going to commit to him long term, and is he going to?
That's the question. It's not the amount doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, because
once you commit to him,
yeah,
it's going to be.
It's going to be a lot. Like quarterbacks make a lot of money. That's how quarterbacks make a lot of money. I think the thing that's going to be interesting is, will the Dolphins commit to him or will they not? And if they're not going to, I don't necessarily blame them on that. I understand if the owner wants to see it out a year with the coach, I'm cool with that. If that is what ends up happening, I totally understand.
So let me ask you this: if they decide to part ways with Tua,
yep,
which I find hard to believe, does that mean Mike McDaniel goes too?
I think next year. I don't think that's going to happen this offseason. But yeah, I think so. I think they're a package deal, because they came together as a package deal. I think he got the job as can you fix Tua? Can you win with Tua?
Okay, now if that's the case, let me ask you this: did he fix Tua? Is Tua not a far substantial better football player than he was when Mike McDaniel got here?
He did fix Tua. I do think that. But the rehab part is over. Like that chapter, that chapter's got to close. Eventually, it's got to be to, can you guys now win?
Okay,
can you win? That's the next question. We can't take a break. We got to go. That's it. Is Javon Holland's out today? End of the show today. Flew by.
Yes, and I will be producing the first hour.
Oh!
Yes, I'm going to hit him with the hard-hitting questions.
All right, Javon Holland, final edition of the Javon Holland show for this season, so you can hear from the Dolphin safety on a season recap on Hockman and Crowder. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Howdy, boy.
And
those later rounds, 7, 8.
Make sure you put on extra charcoal on your barrel, warming your hands tonight, you bum.
Playoff Jimmy will be better because he'll be healthier.
And they'll have Dame.
Yeah, and his hips won't lie.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
Listen to